What's up, guys? Welcome to the 9th episode, the actual 9th episode. We were wrong in that last one.
I'm pretty sure you were wrong.
I mean, you agreed with me. Okay, so this is the 9th episode of Shootin' the Shit.
We're new year, new us.
Yeah, we're here.
New shooting the shit. I got my red Ryber carbon action BB gun. I'm ready to shoot some shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't do that. No. So, yeah, we took a long break. We're on holiday. Not like any of y'all missed this anyway, but whatever. I'm not petty.
What holiday?
Holiday. It was many holidays. Christmas, got everything we needed.
Yeah, I got some bitchin' socks.
Yeah, dude.
Super comfortable.
New Year's. We spent New Year's together. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
It was cold as hell in Texas for some reason.
Yeah, every time we try to light the fireworks, our fire went out.
Yeah, it was just not. It was a difficult time, but we had a good thing. We're ready to start the year off right. We're gonna start the year off by cleansing the previous year. We're gonna start out episode 9 is gonna be top 10 worst movies that we saw in 2017, and the next one, the big 1-0 episode, will be the top 10 best movies we saw.
And since we're making this not like super at the beginning of the year, we're also just gonna purge everything that's been happening in 2018.
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave all that shit behind with the rest of it.
Yeah, all right. 2018 starts now, so like we're leaving Logan Paul, like we're leaving Hawaii bombings. You hear about that?
Yeah,
that was terrifying,
crazy.
Dude.
I've only seen the memes though.
Dude, oh, okay. No. Imagine actually being in Hawaii. They don't care much for those memes, bro.
Well, dude, they probably didn't even see they didn't even see the memes until
yeah, dude. So we're leaving Logan Paul. We're leaving Trump's nonsense. We're leaving. Yeah, Trump been sleeping with porn stars lately, apparently. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, dude. We're just gonna pretend all that shit didn't happen.
Yeah, that was
all last year.
You know what we're concerned with right now? Movies.
Yes, I would much rather talk about movies than actual problems.
Of course. So here's the thing about us, though, is that we're not movie critics. We're not paid to go watch movies.
Yeah.
So we didn't see everything. There's gonna be
my top 10 is like so fucking sparse. You're gonna be like, dude, fuck that guy for putting that movie in the top 10. He didn't even see Lady Bird, that asshole.
Yeah, I know. Like there were a lot of movies we didn't see because we didn't get the time. We weren't interested.
Pretty much all the top contenders I don't think I've seen one Oscar movie.
But we're just gonna go by what we did see. I'm gonna link them in the bottom. Our Letterboxd. Follow us on Letterboxd to keep up with our opinions. This is just everything.
Please follow me. I only have one follower, and he's sitting right in front of me. It's not fair.
But we're just giving you the best and worst of what we did see.
Yeah.
And
move your phone back.
Huh?
Move your phone back so I can see that.
Oh yes, of course. I'm sorry. All right. So without further ado, let's get this started. Would you like to go first?
Oh, wait, do you want to do honorable mentions first?
Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, so we have our 10, but, of course, I have 38 movies on this. How many do you have?
Like 43.
Okay, so obviously we're not going to talk about every movie we saw. So right now we're going to have just 3. 3 okay?
Yeah, that's good.
So 3 honorable mentions, not necessarily, because, we're working from 10 to 1. But, the movie you want to mention doesn't necessarily have to be, in the order of 13, 12, 11, just something you felt like you wanted to comment on. Now, this is the worst. So stick with your worst. So what do you want to mention?
It's hard to pick. I'm torn between one I actually saw and one I didn't see, but I want to mention the one I didn't see just because of my brother.
Yeah.
So I'll mention that one real quick if you don't mind me doing, a tie.
Go for it.
So my brother saw Flatliners, and he told me, dude, he is very lenient on movies. He told me that. He's like, dude, I'm pretty chill on movies. I'm not too harsh. And he usually likes the whole thing of the idea of expanding your mind, what would happen after that. Mm-hmm. Death, which is kind of what that movie about. I was like, dude, that movie fucking sucked. And I get an honorable mention just because my brother's he felt the need to tell me, dude, don't watch this fucking movie.
That is always beautiful when you, meet a person who's normally dude, I'm not like you when it comes to movies, but this one was, oh my god.
So I wanted to watch it, but I didn't get around to it. And, you can...
Okay, so for I probably will just go in order. Well, maybe not. I wanted to honorable mention a Smurfs: The Lost Village.
Ooh.
Honestly, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as offensively bad as some of, the other animated movies we're probably going to get into here.
Dude, my top 10.
But, it's just, just straight up like I predicted every moment of it,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like it was this really like inoffensive. Like, because honestly, I almost prefer when movies like are offensively bad because at least there's something there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's nothing greater than just like getting angry at a movie and just letting it all out. Like, I get the whole thing of like, I wasn't even.
Like, I think they're like, because I think back to the Smurf movies with Neil Patrick Harris in them and how just rancid they are.
I mean, dude, they're playing Guitar Hero.
Like, I love Neil Patrick Harris just brought like the Smurfs are just like, we're bored, what do we do? Like, and Neil Patrick Harris is like, let me show you what the cool guys do when they play Guitar Hero together.
Yeah.
Like
he's an adult, dude.
Yeah.
Like
with a major advertising job.
He's playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, like with a little.
No, I feel bad. I shouldn't say that. If you're an adult still playing Guitar Hero with the plastic guitar, good on you, man.
Nah, I mean, like, not even kids are playing Guitar Hero anymore. Dude.
No, nobody's playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, so like, if you're an adult still playing it, you better be getting paid to do it. Because
why would anybody pay you to play Guitar Hero?
I don't know. Like, there's probably some pro gamers out there who are good at it.
Maybe it's just like if it's not for nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know what? At this point, it has to be nostalgia because they don't make any more games.
Yeah, they don't make it. Like honestly, like.
I mean, Rock Band.
If we went to somebody's house and they're like, "Yo, let's bust out Guitar Hero," I would initially be like, "Let me watch y'all first to see if I feel it."
I'd like, dude, fuck yeah, Guitar Hero. Play the first one where like where only each person got half of the song in the battle, and at the end of it, you're complaining about who fucking won.
Yeah. But yeah, Smurfs the Lost Village, dumb. I don't even think like it was just I made it through like the animation style like Sony Pictures has such like a generic style. I mean like that like Ultimate Spider-Man is finally that what's it's called Ultimate Spider-Man, right? Or Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse.
Oh yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
I'm super looking forward to that.
Dude, again, that was just Sony being like, "Yo, I know we kind of fucked up a little bit, but like he was just like, this will tide you over for the year. Let's just forget whatever nothing happened. Nothing happened 2017.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like I'm super looking. It looks to be the most dynamic movie Sony's ever made because up until this point, Sony's made just really bland looking stuff, and this is like,
it's fucking like, dope.
Yeah, like and just. Smurfs.
I'm coming home now.
Yeah,
dude, could you imagine if like fucking the Smurfs had that fucking trailer intro when they were like riding on the bird, like, oh,
dude, I'm coming home, dude, now. Like in the live action ones, they had like social media Smurf. I'm surprised there wasn't any like rapper Smurf or like.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be.
Vanilla Smurf.
I hate you so much. All right, your next honorable mention.
Alien Covenant.
Oh, really? You saw that?
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from those reboots I don't care about.
Well, here's the thing. I actually watched Prometheus without knowing it was a prequel to the Alien movies, and I actually liked it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, Prometheus it wasn't a perfect movie, but it was solid, and it was a slow movie, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is so painfully. So it's like, no, I got wrapped up in the pace, and it wasn't a bad movie. Yeah. It might not have been the best prequel, or what anybody was expecting out of an Alien movie. Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't bad for not knowing what it was. Yeah. Alien Covenant, on the other hand, it's a sequel to that prequel.
So it's like
already it's fucking confusing as hell.
It's an interquel, I guess. Then I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, like, and this one is trying to remove itself from the first movie by being called Alien Covenant. So, and here's how you know you're gonna be in for a ride, right? Yeah. So the first thing that happens, right? They're on the spaceship, and like they're all in sleeping pods. Yeah. And then at one point they like bump into some shit, right? And then at the end of it, the captain dies in his sleeping pod, right? Yeah. And everybody's sad about this captain dying, right? So they have his funeral, and it's real like, oh man, I can't believe our captain died, and the new captain's kind of an asshole. So then the girl, his wife, because they're going on like an expedition to like spread out the human race on a new planet. Yeah. So his wife's like, oh my god, I'm watching old videos of me and my husband. And her husband's fucking James Franco. And I'm just like, wait, is that James Franco? Did they kill James Franco in the first fucking 10 minutes of this movie? And it's like this guard, and I'm like, I fucking love James Franco. But like, what the, like, dude, like, wait, what?
Is that James Franco?
Like, you're telling me that they just killed James Franco, and now he's dead, and now I'm not gonna be able to see James Franco in a fucking Alien movie, which would have been awesome.
That is incredible. That's amazing.
And I think the worst part, a lot of this movie is pretty bland too.
Mm.
It's just like a whole lot of things not happening, and they're explaining what happened to like because the end of Prometheus and like we're gonna go figure out what happened to humans, or, like how humans existed, and they end like on this cliff note, right?
Yeah.
Or cliffhanger of like, oh man, what's gonna happen? And they're explaining what's happened between them, the first movie and this one. I was like, dude, I just don't care. And then there's this other fucking doofy part where like this little alien is like going to kill this girl, right? So this other girl runs back, she grabs a gun, she fucking rolls up in there about to shoot, and then she flips on the fucking blood, falls down, and then the alien kills her.
Oh my god.
There's a few really dumb parts like that, but overall it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
So that's why I had this on my list for a while, but I decided to take it off due to a lot of the other movies that came out.
All right. So for my second honorable mention, I wanted to go with The House with Amy Poehler and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Because initially I watched it and I kind of enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
And I looked at these reviews and I'm like, man, I just don't get why people hate this so much. And then literally like 5 minutes after just thinking about it for a little bit, it's just like, this movie's garbage.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It doesn't help that I'm a huge fan of Amy Poehler.
Oh yeah.
You know, I have the Yes Please book on my shelf right there. I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan.
Where is it?
It's right there. You know.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's right here.
Sorry, I was looking at your DVD collection and not your books.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's okay. Yeah. Why would you look at books? Like, I'm a huge fan of Amy Poehler. I'm a huge fan of Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I fucking love Talladega Nights.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of who's the guy who played the cousin? What's his name? I've been seeing him in a lot more things. Jason Mantzoukas or something like that.
Jason Mantzoukas.
So I'm trying to think like if you've seen anything.
I think I know who you're talking about
Yeah,
because I've seen trailers for The House.
Shaggy haired guy.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him only from The House.
I love him. Nick Kroll's in it as a villain.
Oh yeah,
I love
Nick
him.
Kroll's funny.
Yeah. There's a lot of great people in this movie, and I had fun seeing them like in a not bad idea for a movie. But just afterwards thinking about it, it was just like trash and like how like I didn't remember really any of the jokes. The daughter put forth a terrible performance. I don't know, like
that's the worst.
someone needs to teach her how to emote. Like I remember just
like, your job is acting.
Yeah, like do it. Like, it was like there's this one scene where they're leaving her at college, like they're dropping her off after everything works out, and she's just like, I just want to thank you guys.
Oh, she's an adult.
Well,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's like,
I thought you were talking about a kid actor. Like,
no, if this were a child, this would be more excusable. But this is this is a grown woman that is capable of acting looks capable of acting as a college adult.
Yeah, at that point you're like in your mid-20s.
Yeah, at the very least. So like she's just like, I want to say you guys are the best parents I've ever seen in my life, I've ever had. I want you guys are the best parents. Thank you so much. And she doesn't even like hug them. Like it's just so like devoid of any emotion.
Yeah.
and just like it was just stupid. No one really shown, like the characters didn't really have that much personality. It was just like it was stupid, goofy fun in the moment, like especially if you go in like knowing what to expect. Yeah, which I did. But the minute you start thinking about it, it's just not good.
Like, oh no.
Yeah, like this is bad. But okay.
Okay, the other one would be The Circle with Emma Watson.
Oh, I've heard a lot of things about that being not good.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
Yeah.
I guess the main point is they're trying to talk about secure privacy and security and technology and stuff, but they don't really have anything to say about it.
Okay.
Because like at some points, like they make it seem like, oh no, it's bad to like always have your life on camera, and it results in bad consequences. And at the end of the movie, she's on like fucking Skype or Instagram, wherever they're pushing forward, saying like, "Hey guys, I'm just out here on the boat, just chilling. Like, hope you guys have a good day." And I'm just like, so she's still using it. So, like, is it bad or is it not bad? I guess the fucking funniest part in the movie where she posts a picture of her, because like me and my brother, my oldest brother, we're riffing the shit out of this movie.
Yeah.
So, actually, I think the guy who plays Finn from Star Wars is in this movie.
Oh, John Boyega?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it's funny, like at one point he's like, I gotta show you something I've been watching. I'm just like, unzip his pants.
You say it with like that intensity, like, I have to show you something.
Like, I gotta show you something. It's like, and then, the point I was talking about is like, she posts a picture of her friend's like chandelier that he made out of like deer horn, right?
Yeah.
and this guy gets bombarded by hate email like, oh my god, how can you fucking kill all of these deer just to make your fucking chandelier? And he's just like, I didn't kill any of them. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, like, they shed. Like, did nobody tell anybody this? So at a certain point, when Emma Watson is using her new...
I don't... Do they, like... They don't just pick up, like... I don't know how the harvesting of deer horns works. Do they have, like, farms?
Dude, it's not like fucking... They have ranches.
Oh, okay.
Where they just have, like, a shit ton of deer. Like,
and they wait for them to shed, and they pick them up?
Dude, I mean, it's not like fucking elephants. Where, like, you're not gonna fucking get a deer and just, like, fucking saw them off and then release them. No, like, they fucking shed. So why would you do that?
I didn't know that, so, like...
No, I'm just saying, like, because he said, like, I didn't kill any deer. And I'm just like, yeah, he didn't kill any deer. Like, even if he did fucking saw him off like a madman, like, he still would have killed him.
That's so stupid.
It gets stupider.
Yeah.
Because Emma Watson releases, like, her new invention of, like, oh, we can find anybody using, like, fucking phones or whatever. Mm-hmm. And someone's like, hey, find that guy. Find your friend. So they find him, and these people who find him, they're like harassing him. He's like, no, get away. So he's driving away like, oh my god, that was so close. He fucking drives off from a bridge and dies.
What point was that supposed... How was that technology's fault?
Like, yeah, because, like, oh my god, because she shared the picture.
Yeah.
And because she made them find him, and these people harassed him to the point of a bridge. Like, dude, like, come on, man.
So he accidentally fall off the bridge?
No, he was, like, running away from... He was driving away from, like, the people, right? He's like, oh my god, these people are chasing me. So scared. Like, falls off the bridge.
It's so, like,
dumb.
Silly, like, at best.
And again, just a boring movie. Overall.
Tom Hanks didn't, like, bring anything in particular, like...
No, I think it would have been funny if he, like, played his character from Big. He's just fucking walking around like, oh man, I don't know, I'm privacy. I mean, I'm just a kid. I don't even like coffee.
Oh my god. For me, the final... Because, like, we can't just not mention it. Like, it's got to be a Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale.
Oh, that one didn't make my list.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's for my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Like, so we're not at the list yet. You got one more honorable mention.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of hard to put something on a list you had such a blast watching.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just, like, because, like, you know, like, it's just, it wasn't like, the movie was considerably less painful than the show. Cause, like, the movie had a movie budget and movie people working on it, and not, like, the untalented team that, like, does anything with it.
I think something that I had to mention is that it's the perfect movie for people who love it and hate it. 'Cause if you love it, like, oh my god, you're gonna have a great time. But if you hate it, like, it's not gonna be as painful to watch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can still make fun of it. It's so dumb.
Because, like, I think, like, Sword Art Online's, like, the show's problem runs deep. Like, of just like
racism in America.
Yeah,
whoa. Controversial statement.
But, like, it runs deep into the actual, like, social politics of it. Like, this is bad and actually kind of damaging. This is bad because it's sexist. This is bad, Like, the badness of Sword Art Online runs deep. Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale is just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just a not particular... That's ant medicine.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like we killed ants on my desk. I'm sorry. Like, it's raid.
Hold on. I thought you were pointing me at something I can wash my hands off.
No,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
about to spray and spray on my hands.
No. Just touch. I can give you a napkin.
No, I'll be fine.
You didn't lick it or anything, did you? She's just like, oh, okay, well, we had a close call with Raid because I kind of had an ant problem because I may or may not have left a mug all summer. All winter.
I've had worse. I had roaches at one point. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, Sword Art Online's only problem, Ordinal Scale's only problem, is that it was a poorly written movie.
Yeah.
While animation was solid, editing was a little choppy, but something you can like quickly not notice. I guess like there wasn't anything too sexist in it. I don't remember there being any like super gross like pandering like male gazing shots like there are in the show.
Yeah.
But like so like while like you can talk about the show Sword Art Online and it's like sexism, it's insistent on rapey villains.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's weird. Like
you know what I like about anime girls?
What?
I keep aging. They stay the same age.
Oh my god, that's true. So it's like
I'm just joking.
Of course, it's a testament to how bad Sword Art Online is that like it's a plus for the movie that it's just a regular bad movie.
Again, and I watched this with my mom.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain the plot with her, and I realized I couldn't explain the plot to her without talking about rape.
Yes.
And incest, because that is a core part of one of the first season.
Yeah, like maybe you could exude the rape because like if you cut it, it just. But the incest thing is definitely a major plot hole, a major plot point of Alfheim. Like it's a major thing of this chick's character arc. Like so,
Dude,
like.
And here's the thing: if it was like a hentai,
Yeah.
maybe I could like, oh, like they're not trying to make it seem like they're actually brother and sister.
Yeah.
They're just so removed from reality that
Yeah.
these people don't exist in real life. But no, they set it up like, oh my god, I'm so glad that my brother is home. We get to bond, and I want to be close to my brother because I wasn't close to him, and I also might want to.
Yeah. All right. Final.
I wanted to keep this one on my list. I really did, but there was just so much bad shit that I watched that I had to keep it off. It's Death Note.
Oh yeah, really? You couldn't keep it on your list?
Because like there's just so many movies that I wanted to talk about, man. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I love Death Note as a movie too, just like Sword Art Online. It's just so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, I guess.
And like, here's the thing: this is a bad movie. I mean, it's really bad, really disrespectful. But I mean, that's a testament to my fucking top 10. A movie that I had at number 1 at point isn't even on the list anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
and I will say this is that it shouldn't have been this bad. They had the budget. The source material is one of the shorter mangas.
Yeah.
Even if you split it up to like the first chunk
You're
that
right.
they wanted to tell.
It really shouldn't be difficult to make a movie out of Death Note, I feel.
And again, if you wanted to make an American version, just go all out. Do it like, I don't know, like Chronicle, except they find a Death Note. I mean, would it be good? Probably not, but it would be better than this just poor imitation.
All right, well, then we're going to be interesting when we get somewhere from me. All right, so it's time for the actual list.
Yeah.
The top 10 worst movies of 2017, parentheses, that we saw.
All right.
I'm not going to put that parentheses in the title because we'll get more views if we just say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. We're not going to get views, but we have potential to get more. So I'll start.
I don't need to generate views. I get views.
So this is probably one of the most controversial movies to come out this year. Like a lot of people, there was no one.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like this is
kidding.
One of the most controversial movies. There was no like, it was okay. There was you either loved it or you hated it.
Yeah.
It's Mother. The latest.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about. I've heard only that.
Yeah.
Specifically.
The latest Darrenovsky film, known for like Requiem for a Dream and shit like that. You know what? There is stuff to like about it. It is very like slickly shot and like it's very like what's the word? Like surreal.
Yeah.
And like it's cool like when you read the metaphor, you pick it up yourself, you're like, fuck, this is deep.
Yeah.
But the minute you start thinking about it more than a couple seconds, it becomes the dumbest thing in all of existence.
Yeah.
Because okay, so like and like that wouldn't be fine if it wasn't so gratuitous either.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you heard about what happened in it. Basically what happened is like so it's basically supposed to be this big allegory for the selfishness of God. Because spoilers. So it starts out with this woman, right? And like he puts this little crystal on like a thing, and then the world beats around him. They live in this house with no other like people around it. It's supposed to symbolize the Garden of Eden, and or like the earth. While the man is God and the woman is the earth, and these two people come in. They
Earth-chan,
Stop. Earth-chan is flat.
No, she's so cute. Don't
so
hurt her.
like they get a bunch of visitors that are supposed to symbolize Adam and Eve and the rest of the population, and Mother Nature hates it, and like, so the Mother Nature, the woman, Jennifer Lawrence, is like, hey to God, like, yo, these people, they're fucking everything up. But him, God, being like, no, it's fine. Cause
cool.
So it's supposed to be like a big metaphor for like God is more concerned with getting love from his followers than taking care of the planet.
Captain Planet.
So like that's cool and all, but they also tried to make it this weird like sexist thing. And it also tried to make it this weird like just actual story of like a couple. But and on their own, these things work at a glance.
Yeah.
But when you combine them into one thing, they fucking slip on each other. So
Yeah.
so like if you take it as like a metaphor for taking down the patriarchy, when like the chick grabs like a lighter and extinguishes the fucking world,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, that makes sense from a perspective of her overcoming the patriarchy. But as Mother Nature, the Earth doesn't kill itself.
Yeah.
Like and then like it doesn't kill
It's
itself.
like fucking is it global warming?
Yeah. Like that's strictly the. It also at the end of the day really sympathizes with God and the man, because at the end of the day it's still like, yeah, you shouldn't have overreacted. I would have figured it out. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, and it's just like, and then it starts over.
Or
like,
divorce.
Yeah. It's just so like it's trying to do so much. It fucking fails at it all. And not to mention it's really gratuitous. Like so like again the spoilers. The big scene that had me even fucked up. I legit. So what happened was that they gave birth to a child, which is supposed to represent the Son of God, and they give it to his followers, and they fucking eat it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they fucking eat the baby. And like they show its corpse, they show like them munching on it, and then like Jennifer Lawrence starts slashing up people, and they start and then they start fucking beating the shit out of Jennifer Lawrence. And again, like if this was maybe off screen, no, they show full force the feet and the punches nailing on her. They show her getting bruised up and bloody. They're removing her shirt and bra. So it's like, okay, I get what you're going for, but this is so gratuitous. Like this is almost just like
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
dude.
like this isn't like symbolism. This is this is just violent.
Earth Chen, no.
No, my God, stop. I hate it. Like I again, upon leaving it, I was really into it, but the minute you start thinking about it anymore, it just becomes more and more insufferable and pretentious.
It kind of reminds me of like this one part I was reading in the manga, where she was trying to convince this guy not to like kill himself. She's like, "Hey, man, I know it feels like Monday right now, but I mean the weekend will come. The weekend will come, man. Like it's not always gonna be Monday." And she was like, "This girl died on a Monday, and that's why the girl I got arrested and thrown in prison on a Saturday." So I'm just like, yeah, the metaphor of like it's not always gonna be Monday works until you realize like, yeah, like the shit happens on the weekend too.
Oh my God, jeez, it was just really bad.
Dude, that sounds bad.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's not like again like if you're like if you're like an edgy child. And this is the first like real like indie movie or like just like not mainstream movie.
I don't even know if high school or junior high me would have been okay with like being like watching a baby get eaten.
No, dude, it's fucking like
it's
so
man.
like if you don't watch a lot of movies, this is groundbreaking for you and shit.
Yeah.
But like if like you apply any amount of thought into it, like this isn't like anything that special.
Yeah.
All right, so you number 10.
I lied. Number 10 is Sword Art Online, the Ordinal Scale.
Oh shit, you kept it on.
Yeah, dude. This movie is fucking. This is hilarious, but it's fundamentally broken.
Yeah,
hold on, I need to tell you about watching this movie first.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, me and you were supposed to drive like an hour and a half out to go watch this movie because that was the only place they were showing.
Yeah.
But you couldn't go at the time.
Yeah.
And I told my mom about this, and she was like, "Well, I'll go with you." So I drove an hour and a half with my mom just to see this movie. And then I saw it again with you when I got back. And so here's the funny thing:
you gave this movie money twice.
I paid for my mom's ticket too. So.
You paid 3. You bought 3 tickets.
Yeah.
To Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale.
Yeah. Oh man. So here's the thing: this didn't happen at the theater that me and you went to, but it happened the one at me and my mom's. So we get there, right, and it starts. There's this long fucking interview. With the fucking cast, and the cast is like, "Are y'all excited?" And then nobody said anything, so I had to be that guy, but like, "Yeah."
So you did that in 2 different. Tell them what happened with.
I'll get to that because this is the beginning. I'll get to that at the end. So the beginning, when I told my mom, like, "Yeah, whoo," and everyone's like, "Haha, he's that guy." So. Oh my God, there's just so much fucking dumb shit in this movie, man. It's hilarious to watch. But it's just so fucking out there. So I think the whole thing that this movie is trying to get, the main idea of this movie is that there's this new game, the Ordinal Scale. And instead of being on VR, it's AR, which is basically like Pokemon Go, you know? You have to walk to a place, and then the video game will be wherever you go. So this is still entirely 100% real life. But then you've got motherfuckers jumping off of buildings, doing backflips off of fucking pillars. And at one point, our main character, Kirito, he fucking tackles a dude so he won't get hit by like a monster. I'm like, dude, this is real life. Imagine like me and you are fucking playing like a game.
Like Pokemon Go.
We play Pokemon Go, and then like they shoot water at you. I'm like, Josh, no, I'll tackle you. Yeah, I'll be the middle of the fucking speech. Watch out! Boom.
I was consistently wondering throughout that movie, well, because they make an effort to say like everyone has one now.
Yeah.
But like they also make an effort to show that this is a lot of like multiple uses. Like so many uses that it's unclear what the machine actually is.
Yeah.
But like imagine if you're playing this game and you're just shopping for shoes, and you just turn to the side, and there's a guy like, "Get it on!" Like just like screaming.
Dude, and then like you keep forgetting that like it's bullshit because like there's one point where like this little girl, she's about to get attacked by like a big ass dragon, and then our heroine Asuna has to block her. Like, oh no, I'll shield you instead.
Yeah.
So then she gets him like, dude, why did you? This is a game, a video game. She wasn't gonna get hurt by getting attacked by a dragon.
I'm sorry, keep going.
So like, if this was virtual reality, which again is something that also bothered me in the original. Like, oh my god, it's VR, so like it's just a game, so nothing matters. But now I'm like, if this would make more sense if it was virtual reality.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. That's one of the bigger problems with the world of the show.
Yeah,
like. Because when they were in actual Sword Art Online, it made sense because like if you died in the game, you died in real life.
Yeah.
But like as they went along, since those stakes don't exist, there's literally no reason for like that to be a thing. Like there's no reason for anyone to jump in front of anything.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah, like because like especially in a lot of the fights at ordinal scale where there was nothing at stake. Like because at least.
And here's the thing, like the big thing that they're. Another thing that they wanted to use the idea that, oh my god, if you get hurt, you're gonna lose your memories of Sword Art Online. Like, oh no, what terrible thing to lose. Asuna jumps in front of the little girl before she knows this.
Yeah.
So there was no reason for her to jump.
There wasn't any stakes until after Asuna got hit.
And the fucking funniest scene that I love is that there's this part, well not the funniest scene, the third funniest scene.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so like she's learned that she lost her memories from Sword Art Online. She's at the doctor with Kirito, right? It's like oh my god, like you've just lost you're gonna slowly lose your memories of what happened at that point. And then there's this clock going doom, doom, doom as they watch like Kirito Asuna's face horrified. And in my mind, it's like, do you get it? They're running out of time. Do you understand? Do you understand? Doom. I'll get to the second funniest scene. Which it's only funny to me because like at the end he has to go up to this dude. Oh, never mind. This is the third funniest scene. Gosh. So Kirito and him walk up in the fucking parking lot of this random ass place, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna battle now, and that triggered a memory in me of like playing a Tekken 4 when one of the characters fights another dude in the parking lot. And I was like, oh man, are they just gonna throw down? But no, they put their fucking VR suits on. Or AR, goddammit.
Yeah,
and they're running around like dumbasses in the fucking parking lot.
Oh yeah. That's like the final battle, right?
Yeah.
Like where they're just like, oh hey, look, we're two teenagers. Now we're badass swordsmen. Now they're that's why the only good part of the movie was like that one where like Klein, who's like he's like after like Asuna lost all like interesting shit about her, Klein's the only thing left that's remotely good in this movie in this series.
He's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
He just gets on series.
Yeah, oh dude, I'd watch that. Like when he like in the middle of it, like whenever like the villain Edgy or whatever. Yeah, like he fucks up. Like Klein just takes off the thing. Like fuck the game.
Like yo, we're throwing down.
Yeah, like
fucking throws his shit off
and then throwing actual punches.
And again, this dude has a device that lets him cheat and get super good at the game. But again, his AR doesn't make fucking sense how he's able to move at supersonic speed. Like, it shows at one point, like, it's sort of, like, predicting the dude's movements.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. But again, he jumps off a bridge and does a backflip off of a fucking pillar. No explanation how to do this. And one of the greatest scenes in this movie was like he rolls up on one of Klein's friends in like a dark alleyway, right? We never see this friend again. So we just fucking murder this dude.
Dude, he's dead or he's somewhere. Well, like,
he,
dude,
he does not fucking come back, dude.
they put all of the weight in the world on Asuna's memory being gone, but she's fine. Like, she doesn't.
Yeah, Klein, dude, this motherfucker broke this dude's arm.
Yeah,
and
like,
he's in the hospital, and Kirito's like, man, I can't believe my girlfriend's losing her memories from Sword Art Online. Like, oh no, you're losing your memories too. And he's like, I mean, yeah, but I mean, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, like, yeah, like
Sword Art Online kind of sucked. I know you had a great time.
Yeah,
you met a girlfriend with the love of your life. But like, dude, I mean,
I had crippling anxiety that I was gonna die constantly.
I mean, like, dude, could you imagine like being with like your best friend in a situation where none of you might make it out alive? Like, I know you didn't have any friends to begin with, but I mean, I did.
Like, Klein was just a dude. Like,
Yeah.
he was expecting a pizza.
Like, dude, he likes pizza. Like, what does Kirito like?
Nothing. We don't know.
I mean, does he like pizza?
We don't know if he likes pizza.
I mean, like, dude, I would hang out with Klein because at least we can go get some pizza.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I wouldn't know if Kirito
like, dude,
liked pizza or
like
not.
Kirito, like, he's always going to get desserts in cafes, but I don't think he's ever eaten anything there. Like, he's always just really down to business. Like, he'll go to that big, like, lawyer guy or whatever he is, and like, hey, you want a cake? And he's like, no, I don't want fucking cake. And then they give him cake anyway, and he just sits there like, I don't give a fuck about your cake.
Well, I mean, does he not like it, or just does he not want to gain weight, or?
I don't know. We don't know anything about Kirito.
I mean, like, I don't want to fucking go to. I mean, wouldn't it be weird if like you went to a diner with someone and like they had like a piece of cake in front of them and they never touched it?
That'd be strange.
It'd be fucking weird. At least, like, dude, I'd rather go to get some pizza with this dude. At least I know.
Klein, yeah.
At least I know he'll eat it.
And I just realized we know more information about Klein.
Well, it's just one thing is that he likes pizza.
Yeah.
And that's more of an inclination to be friends with this dude.
Than anything with Kirito.
We know he's kind of an asshole.
That's true.
And that he's not good at video games.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's just so much fucking wrong with the movie. I can go all day about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say the funniest part was
Go
at the very end, because at this point, Edgy, the main villain, he had said like, "Dude, I fucking hate the fact that people don't remember me and this girl because like we were there, man, and they only remember the cool guys because they named them. Like we're just nobody, right?" So at the end, to commemorate him in the book, they say like a brave knight fought to save this young singer, and we must never forget the names of the people who were lost in this world. It's like, you still didn't fucking name them, dude.
You're right. Yes.
Yeah, like, dude, like you still couldn't have given, like you screwed him over again, man.
Oh,
This is another.
Can't imagine he was happy about that.
Yeah, and to end it, I'll talk about what happened at the end of this movie when I saw it with you.
Yeah.
So we're in it with a bunch of supposed fans, right?
Yeah.
And then the dude came in because it was like a special screening.
Yeah.
They don't really show anime movies a lot where we are. So they're like, "Hey, so did y'all enjoy the movie?"
And then nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. So I was like, "Well, I mean, if nobody's saying anything, I guess I will." So in this quiet theater, you just hear me, and we weren't even sitting together. At this
Yeah,
point.
like I was sitting across the room, and I'm just like waiting for him to like give up. And all I hear is
waiting for the guy to just leave. So and all you hear is just me going, "I did not like this movie. I did not like it."
It was incredible. I immediately recognized his voice. I wanted to die immediately. I spat up the milk that I bought because I had bought a fresh cookie and some milk.
Yeah, and then people were like, "No, dude, I liked it. I liked it." It was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, screw that guy."
Yeah, no one said anything until someone said you were the
I
pioneer.
did not like that movie.
Awesome.
It's just really. I mean, again, it's a fun movie to watch, but it's so fundamentally broken.
Yeah.
I just felt the need to put this movie on.
All right, moving on. My number 9, we got Lego Ninjago.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people like this one. I don't know why. Because the Warner Brothers built up such a good reputation with because the Lego Movie is one of the finest animated films to ever be made.
Yeah.
Which is genuinely amazing.
I mean, that's just an objective fact right there.
Yeah, dude. Like if you don't like the Lego Movie, you might actually be soulless because of how much heart and soul went into that.
And you have no objective taste in movies.
Yes.
Objectively.
And we mean that. And then Lego Batman, it was funny. It was fine. I thought it was Lego Batman was at the very least a really fun time, and it did deconstruct some superhero tropes. It's like one of the few superhero movies that gave a woman a legitimate part. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I like Will Arnett.
yeah, Sue Arnett's great. Zach Galifianakis' Joker is probably going to be the most underrated Joker.
Dude, they should get him in the live action one.
Paint him up and shit.
Yeah,
I
dude.
would adore that.
Dude, would you imagine like if they got Will Arnett to be like the real Batman, just one up against Zach Galifianakis?
I think Zach Galifianakis did a genuinely like great job at like being like unhinged.
I didn't even know it was him.
Yeah,
when I heard him.
Yeah,
so,
it's great.
Yeah.
And so seeing Lego Ninjago and just its intense mediocrity at everything it does was extremely like frustrating.
Yeah.
Like just like Dave Franco felt like he was phoning it in.
Well,
I
don't think I've ever seen like a fantastic performance from Dave Franco. He's always just like good or.
I mean, he's fine in the Jump Street movies.
I think he's just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I like James Franco when he wants to can put on an exceptional performance. Like he's done so before.
I don't think Dave Franco is as good as James.
Yeah,
Franco.
he's not. Like I can't even name the other guys.
They should have had Dave Franco in the Covenant instead. I wouldn't have cared that they would have killed him immediately, but I cared about James Franco.
I can't. Jackie Chan weirdly phoned it in.
Jackie Chan was.
Yeah, he played the wise old man.
I mean, he is kind of older, and he's already like.
Yeah, no. The thing is, like,
I mean, like, I don't mean like, oh, he's old, so he can't. I mean, he's like kind of at that point where he doesn't really want to be in movies, or it doesn't seem like he does.
Yeah, he did do that action movie where
the Foreigner.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, but again, it still kind of looked like I'm just kind of here for them to pay me.
Yeah. So like because again, if he had made the effort to like a wise man, like if he had put forth to act like it, then maybe it would have worked. But no, like the voice he used for that character sounds like he might like what he would use to, like order ice cream, where he's just like yeah, I could have a strawberry, like just so like phoning it in. It had one.
It's like he has to get ice cream for his kid, and he knows no matter what he gets that kid, they're not gonna like it. So he's just trying to decide what do I get this kid, so that they'll cry the least. And like, let me get fuck.
They keep up the whole they can take things off, but like that worked in the Lego movie because that was part of the narrative.
Yeah.
But like in this, like the world is so not devoid of any like real reason for them to know they're Legos. So the fact that they can build shit out of nothing just doesn't make any sense. Especially since this movie, like one of its few positives is that it worked in more natural settings.
Yeah, like
so
like if I just fucking pop my own arm right now and like replaced it with a spare one, like I'm I'm a toy, like that would be fucking weird.
There was a scene where a character lost his arm, and they just stuck it back on. But like so like they have like real water in this, they have real grass, and like this isn't like it's all made of Legos. So like you have to pick.
Yeah. You either go with the Lego theme or you just go with the oh, this is just a story and they just happen to be Legos.
Yeah. So it's just really like there's only one good joke in the entirety of it, where like they have the weapon of ultimate destruction and it's a laser pointer. So you assume like okay, so it just shoots things and it's like it melts it or whatever. They shoot the laser pointer and nothing happens. And then like they're like, man, you don't know how to use it. So they're pointing the laser pointer, and a fucking giant real cat shows up, like an actual cat shows up and starts destroying the city. And that was funny at the time, but as the thing went along, like they established this thing's destroying the city. So when they're just like sitting in the woods, like, oh, remember your mother? Let me tell you the story of your mother. And they have a big flashback about the mom, and I'm like, the cat's destroying the city. Like, move on. Like, it was just super like not fun. Either just bad.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know why they thought like a Ninjago like movie was so in because Ninjago was a show, right?
The reason I've seen theorized is because Ninjago is the most popular Lego set that isn't trademarked.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, so like Ninjago like is something that Lego owns that they don't have to pay royalties on. That is also popular. So like it's like okay, we can make this movie, we can keep it like not so expensive, not pay royalties for it. We can rake in all these profits. So and like I'm not sure how well the movie did, but I hope it was worth this garbage. Dude, this is gonna take long. Actually,
I told you knew it was gonna take long.
Yeah, fuck it. This is for us.
Yeah,
this is for us.
We're going to fucking probably tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Like honestly, like we should probably just record the other one the other day. Like let's just do the worst now, and we'll record the best another day.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know that. All right. Next up, your number 9.
My number 9 is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. First, I'm very upset about the actual City of 1,000 Planets because I legitimately thought it was just gonna be like, oh, okay, there's like 1,000 fucking planets in one, and it's all one city. Where it's like, no, it's like, oh yeah, we're just one planet with like 1,000 different cultures, and our economy's all fucked up
because we have so many cultures.
We have a bad president. It's basically America in space.
I mean, America is in space technically.
Yeah,
like we're all in space technically.
Yeah. So the reason this had to be on my list, just because, I mean, how pointless most of this movie feels. So it starts off pretty good. We have this cool action scene where, I guess all these people fucking die on a planet, and then this dude wakes up, and he's like, "Oh man, I've been seeing dreams of this planet, right?" So then he's sort of like, whatever. So they go on a mission. It's pretty cool, and then they find this animal, right? That like shoots beads out of its hole or whatever. So then these aliens, they fucking steal it, right? So he's like, oh man, we need to. That first mission was just to set up that these people wanted to steal this animal. Now we're gonna get into the real action. So Dane DeHaan, our titular character, he goes like,
is his name Valerian?
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
It's not even really about the City of 1,000 Planets. So Valerian, my homeboy, this was in the trailer. Gets his suit on. He's going through everywhere. It's fucking cool. And then like he fucking disappears, like off of the fucking map. So now the plot, instead of becoming, okay, I need to go find this thing. Now it's let's find Valerian. So his female partner spends the next like 20 minutes trying to find him, while also cutting back to like the general or like the guy in charge trying to figure out the most obvious fucking cover-up ever made. Like, oh my god, like what happened to this planet that doesn't exist anymore? Why does our government not want to give me information about this planet? Why doesn't I get information about it? It's not like we did anything to it, did we? So for the next 20 minutes, it's just that. And when this girl finally finds Valerian, like, all right, let's get back to the plot. Not even 5 minutes later, she gets fucking kidnapped, and now Dane DeHaan's like, okay, now I need to go find my partner, while also cutting back to this general, still fucking trying to figure out this plot. So Dane DeHaan meets Rihanna, and Rihanna shouldn't be in movies. And then they finally get her. They get her back, right? Oh yeah, they finally get the girl back whose name I can't remember. And then Rihanna fucking dies. Oh. And they try to have this moment like, oh my god, Rihanna, no, you died. Yeah. You were such a good friend.
Under my umbrella.
It's like, go on without me. It's like, we don't know you. Okay, and instead of like, okay, now we can get to the plot, and they fucking stumble into the aliens that they had to meet. And they're like, oh, hey, we sort of need this animal to power our ship to, like, get home because, like, your guys destroyed it.
Okay. And
then, so, Valerian, he has to fucking radio these dudes, like, yo, man, they're just trying to leave. Don't go fucking crazy or whatever. And then he explains, like, oh, hey, we kind of fucked them over. And then I guess, it wasn't the general, he was, like, the chief or whatever. The chief goes to the general and be like, hey general, is there something that you want to say? And the general's like, fucking murder him. And then like the robots that he had just start fucking firing on him. And yeah, so most of this movie is just like, let's get back, stumbling back into the plot. Oh, and most of the movie is so fucking pointless.
Oh, dude, that sounds so like annoying.
I mean, yeah, like that's why like I could not take this movie off of my list. It was just so dumb. Oh man.
All right, moving forward, I got my number 8. That was your number 9, right?
Yep, number 9.
Number 8, I have the Emoji Movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. Did you see it?
Nope.
You didn't. So you didn't see the Emoji
I did
Movie.
not see the Emoji Movie.
Oh man.
Stayed fucking clear of that one.
Oh dude, like
That was a lot of people's number one.
yeah.
You better have some fucked up movies in front of this one.
I mean, there's gonna be some people that don't agree. You know, there's gonna be some.
Oh,
people,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
there's some people that agree.
I already know it's number one.
Yeah, yeah. You don't know the rest of it, but you know. You know, I can't be too mad at the Emoji Movie at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's just like how it's exactly what we all expected it to be, just vapid.
Uh-huh.
But like, honestly, I'm just like how like I wasn't expecting a good script.
Yeah.
What I was expecting at least was some creative visuals, and there wasn't any of that. I was astonished consistently by how not creative any of these environments were, how not well implemented any of the worlds were, just how devoid of any creativity. Like, because again, I take like the Smurfs movie or Lego Ninjago. Like, they at least have set pieces that are like, whoa, I want to meet the creative guy who thought of the way that looks.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just like, oh, look at that pretty little forest, or look at the design of this, like, village.
Yeah, like, I'd buy an art book of
Yeah,
Smurfs.
yeah, like, I want to see the behind, but the Emoji Movie is like, there's just so much thing, they're just in bland corridors or in white spaces. There's, like, when they go into YouTube, there's so many things you could think of off the dome right now that they could do while being inside YouTube.
Logan Paul memes.
Yeah, oh my god. So, like, they walk into YouTube, it's a big white room with just videos on the walls.
Oh, it's pretty lame.
Yeah, like, and so, like, it's literally just, like, it could just be green screened of, like, just videos on the wall with this little character walking in it. It just, and I remember, like, they did that classic, like, because they leave the app and they're like, welcome to the wallpaper, and they do the Pixar, like, and it's just pillars. Like, it's like a gray world with, like, there's a pink pillar right here, that's Instagram. There's a blue pillar right here, that's Twitter. So it's literally just, like, fucking hallways. Your big open world, your big hub world is just hallways.
I mean, at least the Nightmare Before Christmas had trees.
Yeah, like, there were trees and, like, a forest, and it looked nice.
They had a door.
Yeah.
Doorway to another world. You didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, like...
You kind of wanted to see
like
the other ones.
Wreck-It Ralph had, like, a train station.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. They had customs.
Yeah, like, Inside Out had this whole thing involving the mine. Like, and this was just... They were just hallways. And it's just so, like... it's so stupid. Like, it'd be here forever. I think, like, the most hilarious thing was, he set up an appointment to factory reset his phone. Yeah. Like, he went to the store.
You could just hard reset it.
Yeah, like, by itself. But, you know, he, like, they plugged it into the wipe away memory machine. Like, they're like, hey, I want to break this restart. Like, okay, they plugged it into something. And I'm like, what are you plugging this into that it wipes away all the data? And it wipes away inward. Like, the texting app is in the middle. Well, who the fuck keeps their texting app there, first off?
Yeah, I know. Like, that's like top left.
Or
the main bottom.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, it's in the middle, and the shit is deleting inward. So it can have,
so
like...
it basically looks like a world being destroyed.
Yeah, like,
slowly burning.
Yeah, and then, like, at the end, when he decides not to because they sent the one magic emoji... That, like,
it's so fucking
well, okay, because the big thing is that, like, TJ Miller emoji can make multiple faces. Yeah. So, like, they say, okay, we can, like, we've overridden the system. We can send one text to make sure he doesn't delete the phone. So they get, like, him to make a bunch of faces while he's scanning. So it's like, it makes this, like, super emoji, like a super animated emoji, and they send it to the girl he has a crush on. Yeah. And he goes, the girl goes up to him and he's like, hey, it's a really cool emoji. You want to go out? And he's like, yeah, like, he's like, really? Like, yeah, I like a guy who can emote. Like, I like a guy who can express his feelings.
I can just fucking imagine, like he's just like, hey, wait, you got a text real quick. Like, oh, let me check it real quick. Like, hey, yo, don't fucking delete the phone.
It could have been just that. It didn't.
Like, have you seen the... So I keep dating this with memes.
No.
Have you seen the one where it's like, it shows the phone, it's like, anxiety, like, you'll never be good enough, like, depression, like, why even try? It's like the can of Pepsi in the fridge, like, hey, yo, it's dark in here, get me out.
Oh my god. Then, like, so, like, when they send the message and it gets him the date, he, like, unplugs the phone from the wipe the memory machine, and all the memory just goes back. Yeah. And I'm just like, God, they think we're stupid, that we don't know how phones work. This is our thing. It's just so stupid.
I mean, like, I don't even know how phones work all that much, and I still know, like, it doesn't look like a fucking world being destroyed.
Oh my god. It's so, like, bad. Alright, what's your number 8?
So this one, definitely, I would understand why people have it higher, but the reason I have it kind of low on this list is that for some reason it really didn't strike a huge response in me, but it was still bad enough to be on this list. My number 8 is Bright.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my homie Will Smith. So when I saw the trailer for this, the first thing that popped into my mind was, y'all jokers must be crazy. Just because the way Will Smith was acting in this movie, it reminded me of Suicide Squad. And I didn't learn until like halfway through this movie when I saw like the orc partner with a hoodie on. I was like, hey, that looks like Killer Croc from Suicide Squad. You mentioned like, hey, this is the same director. I was like, oh, and it shows because this is a terrible movie.
We saw this one together, and this is a Netflix movie. I mean, he showed it to my house.
Yeah, because I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, so like we saw this together.
I'm not the type of scumbag who would like borrow someone's Netflix account and watch their shit on their own.
Whatever, man. All right.
So I went to his house. We had a whole thing about it.
Yeah, we had burgers, dude. It was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a great day. It was a great night of just like movie watching.
This was just so this movie wants to push this idea of racism between orcs and the human race, but it does it in such an overt and childish way that's very hard to take it seriously. It's like, oh my god, these freaking orcs over here are ruining this country.
All the orcs.
I'll kill this orc like my daddy, my great-great-granddaddy did thousands of years later, or in the past. Like, oh man, fuck that orc cop. He thinks he could be an orc and a cop. He's like, oh man.
I think like what like drove me over the edge of how stupid it was too was that like they're like oh, he's part of the orc diversity program, just making really light of how important those could be. Like just like, oh, we fucking hate this orc diversity program.
Like, yeah, we can't have an orc as a cop.
It's so, and like they give up on it halfway through because about halfway.
Yeah, but Will Smith, you're okay, homie.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was really annoyed, like because like they don't really make any indication, like, because the thing about making racism involving other species is that like basically I like the way my friend put this, like this movie made Zootopia, but it's Zootopia but stupid. like because Zootopia works because it's very in control of its own narrative, while at the same time but while being much more subtly and like
I mean, it's the idea of just like two races between predator and prey. It's a simplified version of our own world, but it works because it's not our world.
Yes, well this is very much like our world with some stupid things added to it.
Yeah, I guess it reminds me of something like, what was it, Halloween Town?
Yeah. Like
3. When these monsters come to the human world, right, they're like appalled by like the depictions of, oh my god, they're showing us as like bloodthirsty monsters. Not all of us are like that. I'm just like, dude, you guys don't exist in this world. You can't be upset that they're misappropriating your culture if your culture literally is a fucking fairy tale in this world.
It's so like they don't do well to integrate this world into ours at all.
Yeah, it's just like fucking smashing two bricks together.
Yeah, and just expecting them to stick because like
it's like getting like the square peg in the round hole and just trying to fucking smash it.
Like, because it looks like Los Angeles. It is Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It looks the same, except, like, I guess the most jarring thing was, like, when like, Will Smith leaves his house in the ghetto, and then Los Angeles ghetto people are talking to him, and, like, there's just a ferry. And Jesus Christ.
I know.
Yeah, okay, there's always assholes just driving around. Yeah. But, like, so, like, they're talking about, like, magic wands and fairies and brights and wizards.
Like, they're trying to be so fucking serious with this movie, with this message of racism, but at the same time you have Will Smith saying it's a magic wand.
Right, you don't know how to use a magic wand, all right?
We have a magic wand.
Don't touch the wand.
Don't touch the wand.
There's one scene, it's the funniest fucking scene, where like Will Smith, this gritty, really good cop, and this dirty cop is about to grab the fucking wand, and he's just off screen like, no, don't touch it, no, and it's genuinely hilarious. I was laughing beforehand, but I saw it light up in your eyes when it kept going.
Yeah.
I saw it by
Yeah.
myself, and I saw it with him later. But
I just wanted to say, like, not only was it like kind of dumb, but the actual magic elements aren't very implemented well either because everything is so boring and drab. It's like, oh, we have elves and orcs, and the people who can use magic are called brights. And like, what are you, some kind of bright? I was waiting for Will Smith to also say that. And obviously, the idea of magic and the real world don't really mix well together.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted to like make it work.
Yeah.
And it just didn't because like
didn't.
because they go to a fucking strip club and there's titties, it's super gritty, and then you have these fucking goofy ass villains, the elves, just fucking flipping people over and just doing some dumb shit. It's just so like it just so contradicts what they want to do.
It's like bad. I'll say more when we get to my spot.
Like I really get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make let's take this super fantasy world and make it gritty. And like, hey, I get that it could work. It's probably something that I would try to do if I was like in high school. And in high school, I would have fucking failed it because I didn't know anything about fairy tale.
It really does feel like that actually. I know I've told you, this was written by Max Landis. Local Hollywood entitled frat boy, and now local entitled frat boy Hollywood sexual assaulter. He is off the project.
Yeah,
like he is off it. We'll talk about more great detail on that when we get to my spot. We'll get there, but I'll ask you this last thing. So, what about it made you really not want to put it so high?
I don't know, man, because like I think mainly because like the first half was so boring that it didn't really strike me as so bad that I would want to like rant about it. And then the second half was like so goofy, it's like, oh, it's a little funny. So and I think every time I think back to it, like again, initially it really didn't strike a chord with me, but like the more I think about it, the more I just like I have to put this on this list because even if it didn't hit me hard, it's so bad that. It's just so bad that I can't justify not putting it on the list. And again, I struggle with Death Note. At the very least, I could understand why someone would like Death Note more if they weren't attached to it as much as I was. And in high school, I still wouldn't like Death Note, but I would have enjoyed it a lot more than I did Bright.
I feel you. So moving forward, we got my number 7. We got I couldn't not, dude. Justice League.
Hey, that's my number 7 also.
Really? All right. Yeah. All right.
I did not plan this. I actually shuffled around a lot of shit, dude.
All right.
Just to get here.
We can kill Justice League off real quick.
Just
like
kill this thing.
I remember, like throughout our first discussion, we were like, you know what? It's it's. I'm sorry, dude. Like,
no, it's my fault. It's my fault.
Yeah, this raid is becoming the villain of this.
I have a bad fucking habit of messing with shit with my hands.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, like. You're watching it like you're kind of you're so like excited because like it makes sense kind of like when we
got a legitimate laugh out of us.
Yeah, like it got some decent legitimate laughs out of us. So you're thinking, yeah, this might be like the second best DC movie, and it is, but like not, and like it's not like a good thing. It's still like even being the second best DC movie, it's still far a ways from Wonder Woman.
Dude, it's not even fucking. It's not even fucking Daredevil. And Daredevil's a fucking stupid movie, but I at least enjoyed it.
I saw a lot of people say they hated Justice League more than Batman vs Superman, and I don't agree, but I get it because Batman vs Superman is a product of a dude's nearly complete vision.
Yeah,
but it just sucked because the vision sucked.
Yeah.
Like Justice League is a victim of massive company involvement, just with reshoots. Recasting directors for legitimate reasons, because like Snacksiders,
he's been going through some time.
That's not like that's like I completely sympathize with him. But yeah, this like Justice League more than any of the other movies is a victim of the company desperately trying not to have another huge issue, and because of all that interference, they had a fucking huge issue with how bad this movie is. So like I think they're legitimately discussing like they're gonna make a Flashpoint movie. And they're gonna retcon the shit out of this. Like they're gonna open up another universe.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, like whatever, dude. If it means better movies, then sure. Like, because as of right now, all DC know is that okay, they hate us. They like Wonder Woman though.
Yeah.
So let's redo this shit, but base it around Wonder Woman. We'll fucking recast it all. It's gonna be dope. Maybe. We don't know. The point is, like, Justice League was this.
Dude, but knowing how bad they are at, like, making decisions, they'll probably recast Wonder Woman.
Oh, they better not. But yeah, like, shit. Just like they let this guy have artistic freedom, fucks it up. The company gets heavily involved, they fuck it up. This DCEU is just cursed, man. And like, I'm totally happy with them just fucking quitting it and starting again.
Yo, I've been wanting them to quit since Batman vs Superman came out. I mean, that is like the absolute worst start to a fucking DC cinematic universe
Ever. The start to anything ever.
Yeah.
Just like, just genuinely.
I mean, it really feels like they're trying to catch up with Marvel as soon as possible.
Justice League really feels like there's nothing particularly wrong with it as you're watching it, but afterwards, like, I think the worst movies are the ones that are like, when you start thinking about them, they're like, fuck, this is bad. Like, and Justice League just completely annihilates itself because like you can start seeing like who directed what and like just how like different the visions are.
And again, they're trying to pretend that Batman vs Superman didn't happen.
Yeah,
because
like,
Ben Affleck's like, he was my friend and I let him down. When you let him down when you tried to kill him? I mean, yeah, he died, but you didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But he died and you're sad, but you tried to kill him not like 20 minutes before that.
It's like you were trying to kill him. You guys had this like a bunch of children. You're like, dude, that's my mom's name too.
Dude, like, have you? I don't even think he's had a conversation with this dude while he like a reasonable. I'm friends with you conversation.
Never.
Before he died.
I don't think any of them. The only people who had conversations in that movie were Flash and Cyborg. Remember when they were digging up the grave? Yeah, like that was the only just a conversation any of those characters had.
Yeah.
Like everything else was plot related or full of like when like Wonder Woman was talking to Cyborg and he's like, "I let you follow me." Like,
oh yeah.
Wonder Woman was.
They definitely know that Wonder Woman is a highlight.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh, they're making the woman the center of attention and then they're putting the men aside, but the men are just so fucking badly written in this movie. Like Batman, if he would have been the way I wanted him and Wonder Woman's meeting to go, where she's like, oh, those are fancy equipment you had there, but I'm good enough to like get by without being noticed. He would have been like, I knew you were coming 20 minutes ago and I shut it off.
Oh.
I would have been like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of like a power play. Like, oh, you think you're better than me? It's like maybe, but no, it's just like I'm a badass, and Bruce Wayne's like, yeah, you're a fucking badass, and I'm lame. It's like, lame Batman. Who would ever fucking say that, dude?
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, like you watch this movie, you can kind of like you could just stop after Wonder Woman does that badass twirling, blocking all the bullets thing.
Within the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
of the
you're just
movie.
like, dude, I'm done. You can leave. That's worth the price of admission in itself.
Yeah, dude. Aesthetically, they fucking ruined the city of Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis. I didn't realize that at first because I was thinking like, oh yeah, Aquaman's hometown doesn't really look anything special, but it's whatever, right? It's not a big part of the movie, but that's the lost city of Atlantis.
I was surprised how
wonder
boring it
of
was.
the world. And it's just so bland and boring.
It's literally, it looks like just like sunken
and they
ruins.
still need air to talk for some reason.
I didn't realize that till days later. I didn't like. It was just like, wait, then y'all can't communicate like underwater. Like,
isn't one of Aquaman's powers should be to telepathically communicate with people or use echolocation?
That's another thing. A lot of critics will throw around like. The guys who are making the DC movies are embarrassed that they're making like superhero movies.
Yeah,
and you're right because they're like I think one of the biggest things because like Jason Momoa was easy like the worst thing about the movie. Like if I had to, let's see, we'll do this for fun when I'm done talking. Like you're having some trouble there with the raid.
Oh no, it's not. I'll just.
Okay. But like I forgot my point.
You're talking about Aquaman.
Oh yeah, just like they're constantly making jokes that he can talk to fish.
Yeah.
And like you'd think the way that would work is they would make jokes about how useless it is that he can talk to fish,
Mm.
but then they'd like have a thing that they couldn't solve unless he talked to fish. Nothing
Yeah.
like that. He did not talk to any fish. He didn't summon any creatures of the sea. So it was literally just them actually making fun of the fact that this guy
Yeah.
talks to people.
And I don't even know. They didn't even. I mean, I know like I sound like a fanboy saying they didn't nail the character down or
Yeah.
whatever. But there's this part that really bothers me when he first meets Bruce Wayne,
Mhm.
and then he's like, yeah, global warming's a problem, but I don't care.
Yeah.
That's your problem. And then from the old show that I saw, he's like, dude, fuck you for global warming. Fuck you for pollution. Just fuck humanity. I don't want to be around y'all. And that's a pretty cool character dynamic because he's like, because the Justice League is like, he has a point,
Yeah.
but we still want him on our team.
It's interesting. Like, he has a legitimate reason not to help any person on land because they're
Yeah.
fucking over the ocean. But, like, this guy, he's just like, oh, don't you care about global warming? Like, more ocean for me. And I'm like, that's not how global warming works, my friend.
Yeah,
Like,
and I guess there was this meme. This is how you know that people are behind the times. Because, like,
Yeah.
when we were in junior high,
uh,
there was this meme, before memes was even really a thing,
uh,
about how useless Aquaman was.
yeah.
And at this point, I hope most people would think, like, no, that's not the case. That Aquaman, he's not, like, the coolest, but he's not lame.
Yeah.
Because, like, even my mom,
Yeah.
who doesn't know any superheroes, she knows who Aquaman is.
Yeah, he's
So that's gotta mean that he's an
he's
important
easy,
character.
like, just as recognizable as, like, your Green Lantern. Like, maybe
Yeah.
not at the level of Batman or Superman, but, like, most people, like, have heard of the Green Lantern.
And like I explained to my mom, like, oh hey, he's Aquaman. I showed her who the dude was playing it. And she's like, this dude doesn't look anything like Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was blonde, had orange suit. I'm just like, yes,
Thank you.
And my mom doesn't know anything about superheroes, so she knows who Aquaman is and can't identify this dude as Aquaman.
Mhm.
You know what? You know what he looks like?
Yeah.
He looks like he should play Poseidon in like one of these old Greek movies about the gods.
You're right. I can definitely see
But
that.
he's not a fucking superhero.
Like, he would fit right into those, like, Clash of the Titans remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It's just so, like... So, real quick, before we move on to the next one, let's rank all of the Justice League from, like, worst to best in this movie. So, for me, it'd be, like, Jason Momoa's Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate Aquaman.
From worst to best. Like, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, Flash, and then Batman, and then Cyborg. No. So, okay, the Aquaman, Flash, Superman, Batman, Cyborg, and then Wonder Woman.
Okay, that's kind of hard. I think that's pretty solid.
Because I think, because like, well, like, I hated Aquaman through.
Gee, I hate fucking. Can I just put like all of them at the bottom and then Wonder Woman at the top? Because I really, you know what? I'll just say, Flash and Aquaman are tied for last.
Yeah.
Cyborg would have been better if he didn't look so much like garbage.
Oh yeah, like literally
yeah.
garbage and tin just fucking plastered together.
Like Batman, I want to like him, but
Yeah.
I love Ben Affleck, dude. I love him in movies. Like he was in one of my favorite movies of like last year, which is The Accountant. But then they just give him this bullshit.
She was in one of my favorite movies. Like Gone Girl is fantastic.
Gone Girl.
You seen Gone
I
Girl?
fucking love Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gone Girl's fantastic.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He was in Goodwill Hunting.
Oh yeah, it's a
The
good movie
kid,
too.
he was in Dogma. I don't think anyone saw Dogma. That was a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
It was directed by Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know. What you're talking. I haven't seen it, but I
Yeah.
think,
And he
I know
comes
what
out and he's a silent ball.
you're talking. Yeah. So yeah, we're all like, I look forward to more Wonder Woman. It's like, have you seen the Have you seen the Teen Titans Go to
Oh
the movie
yeah, I
trailer?
fucking like that.
He
one.
was all like, he was just like, we're giving the people what they want. Like, this movie's not about Wonder Woman. Like, yo, Wonder Woman's awesome,
Like she inspires people.
and we do not.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention about Wonder Woman is like I have my problems with
Yeah.
the movie, but
Yeah.
this is the one good, not just DC movie, but good female-led superhero movie.
Yes.
Like ever to be made. So regardless of whether or not I think it's a masterpiece, it's definitely an important piece of cinema.
Yeah. Like, dude, like, I think.
And that's
I
a
think-
lot to fucking say.
I think like Wonder Woman is a like I don't know if you heard.
But dude, even it's crazy that DC fucking beat Marvel to the punch on that
Yeah,
one with
because-
how early they've been.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think it seems too coincidental that now, like I don't know if you heard, we're getting a Black Widow movie now.
That movie's gonna suck.
Well, no, I have tentative hope because they're getting a woman screenwriter.
No, I'm not saying like because of the screen. I'm just saying like Black Widow was not a very interesting character.
I know, but I'm very tentatively cautious because like woman screenwriter, maybe if they get a woman director, because dude, you have to like for people who are like sexist as shit, fuck you. But like a good chunk of why Wonder Woman was so good is because there was a woman behind the helm who was making good decisions that Zack Snyder, as a filthy pig meathead man, couldn't
Speaking
make.
of which, there was this one scene where Wonder Woman's ass covers up 1/3 of the screen as Ben Affleck walks out of a spaceship, and I'm just thinking like, I'm not the type of person who pays too much attention to like cinematography or shot composition because I don't know a lot about that at all. But I noticed that. I should have noticed shit like that.
There were so many scenes where it was just all Wonder Woman's ass, and
again, I mentioned this in the last podcast that we did on the Justice League. She has a fantastic ass. She should be proud of it. Yeah. But they shouldn't shoot it like it's a 14-year-old boy who got a camera for the first time and peeping on his neighbor.
Yeah, dude, it was so like.
Oh, and to mention also the redesign of the Amazon costumes, who weren't even in this movie for long enough to warrant a costume change.
Exactly. It's just so like, all right.
Yeah, so you're right. Because actually, something that I want to mention about the Wonder Woman movie real quick is something that I was scared of, is that it was going to be super in your face about how progressively feminist it was. Yeah. Kind of like Alice in Wonderland, like, oh yes, this is a strong woman. Yeah. This is an independent woman. She don't need no man, but she has one anyways because she's an independent woman. Yeah. I'm thinking, and I was really afraid that was going to happen, and it didn't because Patty Jenkins made the decision of she's Wonder Woman. Yeah. She doesn't need that because she embodies that. Yeah. And we don't need to shove it in their face because people already know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she was perfectly solid. The writers were on point with that. I guess the whole thing with the dress. I guess they did they had that scene with the dress. That was the closest they got, but it wasn't really like a thing where like I can't look like this. But it was more of like I legit can't fight in this. She was willing to try though. Yeah. Like it wasn't like
I mean, the whole point of that scene was just like, okay, let's get a disguise for her. And hey, this might be a little bit quirky, a little funny. Yeah. But then we'll just move on with our day.
Yeah, and that was it. I like also like another important thing. Like it would have been really easy, like the iconic scene when she emerges from the trenches and takes on the fucking soldier single-handedly. It would have been real easy for them to be like, oh, you can't do it, you're a woman, or blah blah blah. Oh, yeah. But instead they're like, no, dude, you can't help everyone. It's just that it's just
you're gonna die.
Yeah, and she's like, don't give a shit, and she fucking rolls up, and she's a hero. She's a hero.
Actually, there was one point. I actually kind of wish they did this just because it would have been funny. What? It's like, that's no man's land. I am no man. And she fucking rolls up.
Okay, that would have been a bit of a badass line. I would be really into that.
Because that happened in, what was it? I've never seen it, but I know this happens in Lord of the Rings, where they're like, no man has ever bested me. She pulls off the helm. I am no man. Slays him. Like, dude, like that's as far. Like, I don't like it super in your face, but when it's kind of like when it's a line like that, like I'm down with that.
All right. Okay, so that means we both got number 7 down. So number 6, I couldn't resist, dude. I still have Death Note in here.
Dude, I fucking get it. 100%. This is a fucking bad movie. Yeah. I just feel like I've seen a lot of fucking words.
I think it was more like it didn't have the same effect on me in that it just lingered in my mind too much. You know, like I would just think about like I can't believe like they did it in this way. Yeah. I can't.
They had the budget.
Yeah, they had everything they needed.
Good source material. They had a strong fan base that was gonna watch it regardless because it was on Netflix.
Yeah. I just couldn't get over it, man. Well, we've discussed at length about it, so we can just move forward.
That fucking ending, dude. The fucking music.
We cracked up so hard. So what was your number 6?
My number 6. Go Power Rangers. All right. I didn't think I'd see a movie more aesthetically displeasing than DC, but here it is, where every costume looks like the Flash. You're right. Which is the costume I hate the most. Yeah. Despite Aquaman's lack of a costume, his just looks so. There's too much. Yeah. Looks like he's trying to look cool. If I saw a cosplayer wearing that, I'd be like, yo, you put a lot of work and effort into that. Congrats, man. But no, it looks like shit because it's on a big budget movie and they want to think it looks cool.
And it so doesn't.
Everybody fucking looks like this. Dude, their helmets look like biker helmets.
Yeah, dude. They look more like aliens than anything, which is a really weird because like they're not supposed to look like. I mean, they wanted it desperately. I guess it is aliens. Like they're fighting aliens, but like they wanted it desperately to be like this really like otherworldly thing. But like part of the fun of the original Power Rangers was that it looked goofy, like something you could wear, like something you could almost make yourself.
I actually thought a lot about what this movie should have been.
Yeah.
Like it either should have been like goofy enough to where like the fans will like it, and anybody who is coming into it be like, oh, this is just a goofy comedy about like these guys. And this actually reminds me about the original movie where there's this one scene, like the first Power Rangers movie, where they power up, right? And they do their whole fucking shtick. And then they do like all these flips, right? And once they're finally Power Rangers, they're powered up. They look around and all the villains had already left because they took too long. Like, dude, if this movie was just all that, or if it was super gritty and super dark, like everyone thought it was gonna be, at least it would have been interesting.
Yeah,
this is just a boring mess.
It was somewhere in between of that.
And again, it just wasn't interesting.
Yeah, like they were just like...
And all the characters, you know, you have the Breakfast Club, you got the jock, the nerd, the kleptomaniac, the princess.
Yeah, like pretty much all exactly. The vague, like, kind of lesbian, but not really one.
The delinquent. And dude, I swear to you, I saw... when the Yellow Ranger was lesbian, I swear I saw a trailer of her kissing one of the guys.
Oh my god!
That they changed because like I can't find the trailer.
Yeah.
But I know I saw it.
Oh dude, it's just so like just half baked and like they fucking centered the plot around product placement.
Oh
which
yeah,
was, like,
the Dunkin' Donuts.
It's a Krispy Kreme.
Oh, same shit.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was still like
actually I think
I
like Krispy Kreme better.
Yeah.
Than Dunkin' Donuts.
Like, just what other movie can you find when you're in a giant fucking mech robot and you turn on your intercom like, we have to protect the Krispy Kreme, and again, completely unironically.
If it was super goofy, like, we gotta go to the Krispy Kreme, I would have been into it. Yeah, but it wasn't. It was playing it straight.
Yeah, like, it was...
And there's just so many bad scenes. Like, there's one scene where the Red Ranger, who looks a lot more like the Blue Ranger from the original movie, where he gets into a crash, right? Like, and it's just a very boring, static crash. And it's like, oh man, it kind of sucks that I got into a crash. And I was kind of bored watching it, so I was looking in the back of the mirror, or like the windshield, and I noticed it was upside down. So apparently, in this whole fucking shot, he tipped over. But it was shot so badly, I didn't realize he flipped over until I was bored.
Oh my! Which sucks. Like, because the guy who plays the Red Ranger is a good actor. He would go on to like have a role in Stranger Things season 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's one of like the main antagonists of like the show. Like, not like. He's one of the more down-to-earth antagonists. Yeah. And he's really good in the role. He plays this really abusive brother really well. And
he actually had a really good line in, like, the movie, the Power Rangers movie, where, like, he just slaps the dude. He's like, did you just slap me? I was like, yeah, I slapped you. Is that weird? Like, that's weird, right? I was like, yeah, if the movie was a lot more of just that goofy shit. Yeah. Like, like, who fucking slaps another man? That's
like when
weird.
they jacked a cow. Like, in the beginning. Like, yeah, like... It was trying to be so much at once, and it just failed at all of it.
And I love when, like, they dunk the Blue Ranger for, like, I don't know, 10 seconds under the water, and he comes up and he's fucking dead.
So out of nowhere. Oh, dude, yeah, they're just, like, talking, and, like, fucking get the Blue Ranger. He's autistic. Like, and also, like, they're probably not. But something that's been plaguing me, like, on one hand, I want to be really glad we're giving more autistic representation. But I just genuinely am not knowledgeable enough to know whether it was good or not. So if you want to tell us, that'd be great. So
I mean, again, he wasn't a bad actor either.
Yeah, he was, for what he was given, he did it really well.
Yeah,
he really got into it.
And honestly, it could have just been like a buddy movie with the Red and Blue Ranger. They had great chemistry.
Oh, yeah,
fuck the rest of the people. I just want to see these guys. You know, fuck the Power Rangers. I just want to see these dudes going on adventures together. I'd be cool with that.
The rest of them were so like not like gotten any character, especially like the Black Ranger. He literally just showed up. Like the Black, he literally.
It's actually kind of confusing now because like they're not assigned by like what race they are.
You know, that would have been fine. They clearly called attention to it.
That actually reminds me. I saw like the Yellow Ranger. the black Yellow Ranger
Yeah.
and the second. I should have said second instead of black. Makes
Yeah.
me seem like a racist.
Okay, it's fine.
So the second Yellow Ranger and the second Red Ranger at a Comic-Con
Yeah.
or at the local con that we
Yeah.
had, and I think somebody asked him about that. I
Yeah.
think, and then they said like, complete coincidence. I'm not fucking with you. Like she just happened to be perfect for this role that we wanted her to be in.
Like,
And the funny thing is, I don't know if you know this, but like they switched
yeah.
when they got the second one in. So the Yellow Ranger was black, and the Black Ranger was Asian.
And like, it's like, I would have been fine, like, because they made the Asian guy the Black Ranger, and like, and like all that, and they made him. There's a Mexican girl was the yellow one, I believe, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like,
Actually, Key and Peele had a great fucking skit about that. Have you seen that one?
no.
Oh my god! It's basically like they're talking, right, and they're like falcons instead of
Yeah.
rangers, and they're like everyone's assigned by like mostly color. Like, oh no, everyone has different colors, right, and they're
Yeah.
all different nationalities, and they're like, all right, you ready, Black Falcon? He's like, are you talking to me? He's like, yeah, Black Falcon, we're talking to you. Actually, I'm Green Falcon.
That's good.
Yeah.
But like, I would have been fine. I wouldn't even notice, because even as a kid, you don't notice like with the black.
And even when they do bring attention to it, it's still kind of funny.
Yeah, but even still, like, I'm not gonna give you props for making the black guy the Blue Ranger if you're still gonna have the Asian guy being, look at me, I'm black, and the black kid's like, what? Like, I'm not.
You ain't black.
Yeah.
Your
Like,
jokes must be crazy.
But okay, moving forward, mine.
Wait, one thing I want to say real quick
All right.
is that again, the ending, the very end credits was the best part because they played the ending from the original Power Rangers movie, which was I got the power. Like I was like, and these two guys in front of us, because we saw this movie together too,
Yeah.
were like, "Fuck you!" The movie screen was like, "Dude, I wanted if this whole movie was just I've got the power, like that would have been a phenomenal movie. I would have put
Yes.
that one in my top 10, regardless of quality."
All right. Moving forward, we got number 5. We're halfway through.
God
Here's my
damn.
first super controversial opinion of
Yeah.
of the mainly 2. Number 5, worst movie of the year, Thor Ragnarok. Oh shit, he's leaving. He's leaving. He's walking out of my room. Oh my god. He's gone. He's gone. So, how you guys doing? He's coming back. He's coming back now. I'm just gonna say things where, like, I'm generally just harder because like, I don't know. I sometimes make an active effort to be contrarian.
I didn't like this movie either.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't make my bottom 10, but not a great movie.
I enjoy being a contrarian every now and then.
Yeah.
And usually if I hate a movie and it gets like unreal praise, I'm generally a little harder on it. And I can't help but feel like, man, I just hated every second of Thor Ragnarok.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot wrong with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only reason, again, it was more retrospective. Like you mentioned the house, right?
Yeah.
It was like that for Thor Ragnarok, where I enjoyed the movie while I was there, but once I got out, once I actually thought about it for a second, it's like, oh no, that was, ooh.
Like, none of this worked, like,
a
at
lot
all.
of it doesn't. I mean,
The third act did, but like third act did. It was like, but like it feel like it took so long to get to where like it was good. And even then, like, no matter how good the third act was, it still could, like, honestly, how good it was in the ways that it was good, completely like shown why the rest of it was so bad. Cause like just like we spend so long trying to get the Hulk into this final battle, and the Hulk is just so inessential to it.
yeah, I mean, I have it pretty high on my list, but I mean, that just goes to show how many shit movies I saw. I did not like this movie. I mean, it wasn't. I think my biggest problem is how they ruin the end credit scene from other movies. Because in Thor: The Dark World, which granted wasn't a great movie, at the end they show that Loki is actually Odin, and you're thinking, oh man, what's gonna happen in the next movie? How is this gonna affect Thor? They throw that out the window immediately.
Yeah.
And again with Doctor Strange, where it ends with him meeting with Thor, and you're thinking, oh man, they're gonna go on this cool adventure. Nope. They were together for like 5 minutes, and then you never see him again.
It was really annoying. Like, honestly, if Doctor Strange is like that in just a few minutes, I'm glad I didn't see the actual movie, because like in those few minutes that Doctor Strange was there, he was insufferable for me.
I mean, most people like Doctor Strange for the visual marvel that it was. And honestly, I think I was sort of checked out at that point for movies.
Yeah.
Or for superhero movies.
I can't.
But the weakest part of Doctor Strange is definitely Doctor Strange.
I'm so ready. Like Black Panther and Infinity Wars, I'm so just ready for it to be done, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm so ready. Like I mean, like I think they're still gonna continue to make movies.
I mean, dude, they're fucking filming Black Panther's part in the Avengers movie, and it looks like it's set after the Black Panther movie. So what the fuck,
dude? Like honestly, I'm just ready for this whole arc to be over. Like this whole story, I'm just so done. I want my big budget Hollywood movies back.
I want Sky High too. We need the return of Will Stronghold and also the return of fun superhero movies. Because Thor Ragnarok wasn't fun.
It was not fun. Like it was. I mean, it was trying really hard to be funny, but it wasn't a fun movie. I don't know, man.
The only thing that I can say about this movie is that it doesn't look like every other Marvel movie. As in, it's very bright and like the trash planet is like, ooh, it's not Earth and it's kind of cool. And I'm just like, I don't care because they're away from the plot. The reason I have Valerian on this list and why I refuse to remove it is because the whole movie is just, let's not return. Let's return. The next 20 minutes is returning to the plot. The plot is finding the plot.
Yeah.
And Valerian did it a lot worse than Thor Ragnarok, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why I put this one up lower than Thor. Valerian. But Thor does that a lot, and we were talking about this, how it could have been very easy for him to just, hey, let me just go to this different planet and just see what's up. And like, you just fucking see the Hulk there for whatever reason. The fact that, oh no, this whole trash planet is just a diversion from the main plot, which is hella fucking up their planet.
Yeah. And again, if you're listening to this and you're mad, I got the whole colonialism themes. I got the daddy issue themes. I got all of that. It just wasn't earned.
I mean, dude, I fucking love how on the mural, there's this demonic looking wolf.
Yeah.
And when it actually pops up in the movie, it's just like a very large dog.
Yeah, it's just an actual regular dog.
Yeah.
But I get all the themes that were put into the third act. I get it. It just wasn't earned because the movie wasn't about that.
I mean, I didn't care.
Yeah. Like, dude, like, again, if the movie was about that, it'd be one thing, like, but it wasn't.
Like how the Guardians of the Galaxy was mainly about family.
Yeah, but it was about that throughout.
Yeah.
Because they were arguing. Like, again, I wasn't a huge fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Or like how Fast and the Furious is always about family.
Yeah, I'm not huge fans of those movies, but they were about that throughout the movie.
Fucking family.
Yeah, fucking family. Thor Ragnarok was not about any of that. It was about finding the Hulk and going to a thing and like looking at Hulk's butt and just looking at it and
his big fat cock.
His big fat Hulk cock.
And something I hate in this movie also is that they never let their characters be cool.
Yeah.
Because when we see Valkyrie for the first time, she rolls up, takes a swig from a 40, throws it off the plane, and just like, yo, I'm badass. I'm like, yo, I love this chick. And then she falls off drunk from the balcony, and it wasn't funny. And she gets up, and then she proceeds to be cool. But the moment it passed.
Or like when the Hulk is first revealed, and we're like, oh my god, he has to fight the Hulk, even though it was spoiled in the trailer. But you're like, oh my god, he has to fight the Hulk, and Thor's like, oh, I know him from work, and you're just like, come on, dude, like let us. Like,
if anything, it would have been funnier if we're like, what the Hulk? What the fuck are you doing here on this random planet?
Yeah,
like, I thought you were from like Earth was like your one thing.
Yeah,
like wouldn't it be? Like, it's like when I saw you at like. Half price books that one time. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I don't see you.
Yeah. I've never seen you in this area before.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I ain't playing this. Like,
I made $11 off my returns that day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like, going to a distant planet and you have no idea what the fuck's going on? You just see me.
Yeah, just like
in a bar. Just like, what the fuck?
What are you doing here?
Like, it should have been more than that. More like, oh, he's a friend from work.
Yeah, it's so like, and again, of course, like when Steve Banner, what's his name? Banner.
Yeah, Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Steve Bannon. I got racist on the brain. When Bruce Banner jumps off the ship and you just want it, you're praying like, because the minute he jumped off the ship in the movie, I was like, he's gonna fucking faceplant.
Yeah,
like,
because that sort of happened earlier when Thor throws a ball at like a window in order to shout in and just bounce back and hits him in the face.
And then like
it sort of sets the tone up for dumb shit.
Yeah, so like, I just like it'd be great if he just legitimately transformed into the Hulk and fucking actually like came in like a badass and did something, but no, he didn't. Which is weird because again, he always had control over it. So why suddenly he doesn't have control over it is weird. But
or he just perfectly timed it.
Yeah.
For comedic effect. One thing I do like though is that how it just ended with him like getting his eye gouged out, and he doesn't regenerate or find a way.
I did like that too.
But it was just so late in the movie.
Yeah.
Like if at this point, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like,
I enjoyed it as a visual. I enjoyed it as like a symbolism.
I enjoyed it as, hey, we're not just gonna be same cookie cutter, same.
Yeah.
Here, you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I like that twist.
But it was very late to the point where I'm way past praising you. I just want this to be.
This should have happened 2 movies ago.
Yes. All right. So moving on to you. What's your number 5?
Ooh, this one's a bad one, man.
Yeah.
I saw this one.
Top 5, bro.
Ooh, yeah. Again, I feel like a few of these are like last minute entries.
Yeah.
Or this one specifically was one last minute entry that I didn't plan on seeing, but I saw it anyways. Is Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle?
I've been seeing a lot of people like cutting it slack, like, but like it's just like, all right, it's not that bad. But
that's what I thought. But then I left and I started thinking about it for more than a second. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
So let's just first off talk about the connection it has to Jumanji. So they didn't give a shit about really connecting it to the original ones. So it starts off in 1996, right? And this kid, he gets the Jumanji board game from his dad, and he states, "Ooh, nobody plays board games anymore."
No.
So the board game, like the executive said, "Oh, nobody plays board games anymore? How about video games?" And Jumanji turns into a video game.
That's really what happened?
Yeah, and here's the most hilarious part. So, at the end of the original Jumanji movie, Robin Williams turns back into a kid in the 60s, right? With his friend, because like, oh yeah, the game's already over.
Yes.
So it sent us back to the beginning since we started playing like 26 years ago. But the majority of this movie is set in 1995. 1 year before this movie starts, where they claim nobody plays board games anymore. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Like,
wait, so it doesn't take place in modern day?
No, it does.
Oh.
But it starts off in 1996.
Okay.
And he claims like, oh, nobody plays video games anymore in 1996. But in 1995, they're all over that shit.
Like, man, it's weird what 1 year does to board games.
Dude, it's kind of like, yo, dude, my mom got me an iPhone 10 last year, and this is fucking useless now. Like, I cannot fucking do this anymore. So it goes back to modern day, and I was actually a little bit bummed at first before watching this movie about how, like, oh man, these kids who are just starting out acting, they don't get to be the stars of their own movie because these fucking The Rock or whatever have to take the place.
Yeah, like.
But no, they're fucking terrible, and I'm glad it wasn't about them.
Well, that's what's because what made like Jumanji and Zathura kind of cool.
Oh yeah, like Zathura is the edgy reboot of Jumanji that we needed.
Like, they aren't fantastic movies, but it is cool seeing like kids like way out of their depth.
If anything, they should have made a video game version of Zathura.
That would have been cool. That would have been much more interesting. And also, like, is it true? Like, it's annoying that, like, a cool thing about Jumanji was that it was, like, fucking animals and dangerous, real shit trying to kill you. But in Jumanji, it was just, like, dudes in, like, black cloaks and, like...
There are animals. They go to a jungle.
Yeah.
And here's how I know that there's a geek, right? Here's how I know they don't fucking know anything about video games. Is because this motherfucker has a Last Guardian poster on his door. I know nobody even played that game, let alone fucking liked it enough to get a poster.
It's probably because Sony was in on this and like they're like put.
They also had like, what was it, Uncharted? Which
Sony definitely was in on this.
And he's also playing Street Fighter in the beginning, so and that's also on PS4. Well, so the other thing about Jumanji that really bothers me is that there's this one point where Nick Jonas is talking about his hut that he has, right? And it says like Alan Parrish.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Oh, who's Alan Parrish?" And Nick Jonas is like, "This is Alan Parrish's home. He created it. I'm just living here." And apparently that's Robin Williams' character from Jumanji, who was stuck in the board game for like 20 years. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a video game. It was
still a board game.
It wasn't a video. It was like a world within the game that he was stuck in. So either one or two things happened.
Yeah.
The video game hid an Easter egg in there, who nobody would recognize other than the audience, or this video game changed its entire fucking world to reflect the video game, and they just happened to leave the Alan Parrish thing there, which is fucking retarded.
It's dumb. That is really dumb.
And let's go down to the video game aspect of it, is that this game isn't possible to beat without having 5 people playing. So you can't fucking beat this game solo. Because there's this one point that they get to, it was like every character has their strengths and weaknesses, right? Which makes sense in a video game. But, like, Kevin Hart and Jack Black's character, they can't fight at all. Like, at all. So if you pick that guy, you're fucked in single player.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, they need to get to a level. They need to get to a plane, right? And Nick Jonas's character is the only one who. Nick Jonas is like 20 years older than everybody else, right? Because he started in 1996.
Okay.
And they're in 2016.
Wait, they got Nick Jonas to be the guy who knows everything?
He was in there for like 20 years.
Oh,
so
that's dumb.
But they're the characters who they play in the game. So he's an avatar.
I guess, but like I don't know, like a cool part about both Jumanji and Zathura, like the age thing was really. Now that I think about it, the age thing was a really cool thing about it because it was cool, like having like these kids who are way out of their depth and like this one like really badass adult.
Yeah,
like,
and he's Zathura. He finds out that he is that adult.
Yeah, that was dumb. But like, like I played this game with my brother and he fucking died, and he's just like, oh,
he wishes your brother back. It's like,
Yeah.
you wish for 2 of me.
like no, I was just, oh my god, like I got my brother back. like I see you, but you don't mean much to me. But this brother, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Like but yeah, or even like in the original Jumanji, it's cool that like when they bring back Robin Williams and they have to like play and like, oh, we need to go find the old chick that was my friend
to finish the fucking game.
To finish the game, and like it was cool. Like looking back, I need to rewatch Jumanji. Yeah, like talking about how bad I knew Jumanji is just making me want to watch old Jumanji.
Well, what I was saying is that they need to fly the plane. Nick Jonas' character is the only character who can fly a plane, meaning that if he wasn't already in the game 20 years earlier, they wouldn't have been able to beat the fucking game. So I understand that, and there's also a lot of dumb shit where it's like, oh man, he's an NPC.
Oh, okay.
So he keeps saying the same thing over again, and then they cut to a flashback, and then you hear The Rock going like, "What?" Or like, Kevin Hart going, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, this is what they call a cutscene."
Oh my god!
It's like super cringy.
Just like very like they looked up what's in video games.
Oh, why don't you say? You might as well just say up, down, left, right, be here, start, and fucking like, you might as well.
Yeah, like, oh man, how do we get to this area? Like, oh, you need to be up, down, and just say it like.
Yeah.
That's like the laziest like video game reference. I'm so sick of hearing people reference the Konami code.
I mean, it's not even cool anymore.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't. It's cool when you're a kid.
Now you know what you should do. You just do a cheat code from GTA to get like unlimited life or like.
Anything else in particular you want?
There's a fucking lot in this movie.
All right.
So none of the characters, except for Jack Black, actually act like they're different. They're a teenager.
Yeah.
Like the Rock, they give The Rock and Karen Gillian some lines, and certain scenes they tell her be awkward. But oftentimes I sort of forget that they're supposed to be, because there's one part at the very end, right, where The Rock, he reaches for like his waistband, right, and there's nothing there, and it's supposed to be symbolic of he's still this geeky teenage kid looking for his inhaler.
Yeah.
But when I first saw that, I'm thinking, what the why was this in the movie? He's just grabbing for nothing. It took a moment for me to realize, that's what they were going for because I so much forgot.
Yeah.
And Kevin Hart is the fucking worst.
Of course he
Because
is.
he is just, he's supposed to be playing this large football character. He just sounds like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
The only one who puts any effort in is Jack Black. Because it also, because he's a teenage girl.
Yeah.
And they give him some shit lines.
Yeah.
Like, where's my phone? But the whole movie, he's still consistently putting on like that Valley Girl accent.
Yeah.
And he's still consistently doing
He's
the
playing
movement.
he's playing a character at the very, even if the
Yeah.
character is stupid
And he has the best line in the fucking movie
yeah.
when Karen Gillian, the hot girl,
Yeah.
starts breakdance fighting to Peter Frampton's "Baby I Love Your Way."
Oh my god.
You just hear Jack Black. Well, they're all looking right. Jack Black, yes, queen.
Oh my god.
He didn't say slay. He was like, yes, queen. I'm just like,
Jesus.
that's fucking great. I love you, Jack Black, for putting in the effort.
Yeah, well, at least someone was trying.
Yeah, and the villain was boring and bland and didn't have any meaning on the world. They ain't outright say it, but they basically said, if you die in the game, you die for real. They're like, we have 3 lives on our arms. Like, what does that mean? What happens if we die 3 times? Like, I'm not entirely sure. And they don't say it. I'm disappointed that they did it. But they basically said, in a roundabout way, if you die in the game, you die for real.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, man, that's so great.
You were like, what does that mean if we run out? And you're like, say it.
It's like, I'm not sure, but if we lose all of our lives, we might not be able to make it back. Or no, I think they say like, I'm not sure, but we might die. I'm just like, close enough.
Close enough.
And Jack Black gives Nick Jonas mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Because his weakness, Nick Jonas, is mosquitoes.
Uh-huh.
And wouldn't you fucking be pissed if you're playing Uncharted and there was like a 1 in 25% chance that you get bit by a mosquito and fucking die?
That's so dumb.
I know, dude. Such a garbage game. And at least they also addressed another issue that was in the original Jumanji.
What?
Because in the beginning, when they were like searching around the room, Fridge, which is Kevin Hart's character, in the real world, he's like, what do people need a bowling ball for, right? Because they find a bowling ball at the end. They use the bowling ball to fucking destroy Jumanji.
What?
They destroy the video game at the end. Because, like, you know how at the end of, like, it still ends with, like, the drums, like, doom, 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 doom.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to find someone else, and it's going to keep going. Like, nope, they destroy it. Like, well, that's the end of that.
That's awful.
Oh, man, that's really bad.
All right. Moving on. We probably just jump right through it because my number 4. What was that your number? Is my number 4?
That was my number 5.
Okay, well, my number 4 was Power Rangers.
Ooh, what was your number 5 again?
Thor.
Okay, yeah.
Thor. But yeah, I had Power Rangers. We talked at a great
I'm
length.
sorry, I feel like I have a lot of things to say about my movies.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We got plenty of time. We're pretty close to the 2-hour mark, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's for us. So we already talked at great length about Power Rangers. I guess something we didn't mention is the villain wasn't hokey enough.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the best things about the original Power Rangers, how ridiculous the villain is, and how ridiculous the monster is, and how the monster comes in and it's like, whoa, it's stinking in here, something like that, and then the chick who who played her. Who's the villain?
Oh, I forgot her name.
I don't remember either.
I know who she is. She's the girl from the Hunger Games who's in that powdered wig and
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
She just so didn't put her all in it, and Elizabeth Banks is a good actress. I think. She is she's. I
like her in Things.
Do I? She was Wild Style in the Lego Movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress. It's just she wasn't going all out in that. And it really needed a hammy performance, and it just wasn't there. And just adding on to all of that. All right, I don't want to go too much into it because we've already discussed it at great length. So moving on. What's your number 4?
Ooh, man, I love my number 4, man. I saw this one on my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I'm old enough to drink.
Oh yeah.
Number 4 is not Enter the Dragon. That was an old movie. Birth of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
A movie about the life of real-life person Bruce Lee and Wang Jackman, starring a fictional white character named Steve.
His name is Steve. My name is Steve.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man! So the way this story goes in real life is like Bruce Lee is kind of notorious for being an asshole
Yeah.
and calling people out for being inferior to him.
Also, like, wasn't there some weird, like, fucking, like, because I've only seen the trailer of this.
Yeah.
And, like, there's something like, they don't like that I teach whites, or, like, whatever. What was that about? Like,
Well, here's the thing:
Yeah.
they go way deep into it. Like that really has no bearing in this movie.
yeah.
And there was this, I can't remember what movie it is, but there was a different movie about Bruce Lee's life where people were actually like hunting him down
Yeah.
for the fact that he would teach white people.
Uh-huh.
But that's not what this movie's about.
Oh,
So
okay.
in the real life, yeah, again, Bruce Lee was notorious for calling people out for having shit styles, and somebody was like, "Yo, Wang Jock Man, you should fucking fight him and show him what's up." And he's like, "All right." So they go to like this warehouse, or they go to this secluded area
Yeah.
with like a handful of people, and then fight. And we don't know what happened. We have reports saying, dude, Bruce Lee whooped his ass in like 10 seconds. Other people say like, nah, dude, Wang Jock Man kicked his ass. So we don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So this will be perfect for this type of story where you can just make shit up and it'll fit because the real life, we don't know entirely what happened. But instead, they have to make this dumb fucking thing in order to make this all work.
Yeah.
Which in real life should have worked perfectly. Well, in real life worked fine, but now they have the Steve character to wrap around this fucking story.
Yeah.
So what happens is Wang Jock Man is like banished from his temple for momentarily because he hurt somebody
Yeah.
in a fight because he lost his temper. So he doesn't give a shit about Bruce Lee. He's just in America to do his own shit. And Bruce Lee, you know, he calls him out, but Wang Jock Man's like, you know what, fuck you, dude, right? But the reason they fight is because Steve, yeah, he's like, hey, I really like this Chinese girl who just happened to be an indentured servant to this Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
So I really like this girl, man. And, dude, the lady who's holding her hostage says she'll let her go if you two fight. And they're like, oh, man, I don't really know. And they're like, come on, man, do it for the girl, man. For the girl.
Oh, God.
And so Steve is like, and Steve is going like back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, he's learning from Wang Jock Man and also from Bruce Lee. At the end, he's like, dude, I gotta be Wang Jock Man because he's the way. And Bruce Lee's like, yeah, sure, whatever, fuck if I care. So the reason they fight isn't because they have any personal vendetta. It's because Steve likes this girl who's an indentured servant, and they'll let her go if these two fight. So they fight, and they both believe that they didn't win, right? And then the lady who's in charge of the indentured servant was like, so who won? We have like bets going on. And they don't want to admit who won. Like, oh no, we can't. I didn't lose, but I didn't win. It's so complicated. It's like, just pick a winner, and we'll let her go. And they're just like, it's kind of more complicated than that. We can't do it. So this lady was like, you know what? Fuck you. If you don't pick a winner, this indentured servant who's indentured to my Chinese restaurant, I'll sell her into prostitution.
Oh my God.
So Steve
It's the way
is
he
like,
stays game every time. So Steve.
I mean, dude, you've got, yeah, so Steve, he's like, guys, can you help do this? And Bruce Lee and Wang Jock Man, they're like, dude, it's not my fucking problem.
Yeah,
Like, we don't know who won. So fucking Steve is like, all right, I'm gonna fucking go to this restaurant and I'm gonna get her out myself.
Oh my God.
And which culminates in the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
So Wang Jock Man goes to Steve. No, not Steve. Goes to Bruce Lee. He's like, yo, he's gonna do something dangerous. We better go help him out. And Bruce Lee's like, okay. He's both of our disciple, kind of. So we'll go do it. So we go cut back to Steve. And Steve enters this restaurant. He starts fucking fighting these dudes, right?
Yeah.
They whoop his ass. Like, fucking two guys, hands down, immediately whoop his ass, throw him out in the street. They throw him out in a dirty alleyway. And then fucking Bruce Lee and Wang Jock Man roll up in a fucking Cadillac because Bruce Lee's balling. And then they're like, hey, you alright, Steve? He's like, yeah, I'm alright. And they're like, cool, we'll handle this. So in the best part of the movie, this next scene is entirely shot like an old Bruce Lee movie, where so they go in and they whoop everybody's ass in the restaurant. And they just fucking take out everybody. And there's a scene where like Wang Jung-man jumps off the fucking top of the second floor staircase, lands perfectly because he's martial arts expert. Bruce Lee does the same, like, yo, what's up? They just beat the shit out of everybody in the restaurant, dude. And then they burst into the lady's office like, yo, what's good? And they're like, just pick a fucking winner. And then Wang Jung-man's like, fine, I won. So then they release the girl. Yeah. Well, dude, they had to show Wang Jung-man and Bruce Lee whooping the ass of every employee in this restaurant.
How did Bruce Lee feel? Like, was he like, oh yeah, sure, he won? Like, what?
Yeah, Bruce is like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, like, wait, so they're like, you guys need to pick a winner. Like, no.
Well, dude, they had to whoop everybody's ass and come to a reconciliation. Like, and they're like, fuck it, fine, I don't care.
Like, fine, I won.
Yeah, and I had forgotten until this point who had won because it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is, he's like, the fucking Steve gets beat the shit out of. They roll up in a fucking kung fu style move. Like, I'm talking about Bruce Lee fearless style.
Oh my god.
What he has all the people in this restaurant.
And it was all for naught because they just picked a winner anyway.
Yeah, and then Wang Jung-man, he went to his own country. He's like, yo, this was fun. But now I want to go back to China and train. And Bruce Lee's like, yeah, now I learned of my new style that I'm going to train. And then it ends with the credits saying, like, shortly after, Bruce Lee developed his new technique that would make him famous.
Oh my god.
It's like, I wish the movie was about that instead of fucking Steve.
Yeah.
Actually, if the whole movie was just like this cheesy ass old style kung fu movie with these two actors, I would have loved it. It would have been a great time. But the fact that it was based on true life events and they had to write fucking Steve into this movie because they didn't think two Asian guys could hold it down. Just insulting to Bruce Lee's legacy and the Asians in general.
Like, because Bruce Lee is such like a iconic figure, and like they could have just done so much with like you said, like he was just an asshole. So they could have had a lot of really good moments, like characterizing him as somebody who would just shit talk someone's style like that.
There was a couple of cool moments too with Bruce Lee, because there was a scene I mentioned about how he was like trying to shoot a movie. Yeah. And like some of his disciples were like they were like extras in it, right? Yeah. Because so he like kicked this dude in the balls, like, hey, can you, like, dude, you kicked me in the balls at times, like, dude, stop coming so much forward. I told you not to do that. Like, but then I won't be in the camera.
I won't be in the shot, dude.
So they shoot it again. He kicks him in the nuts again because he's too far forward. I was like, dude, like, yeah, like, that's the type of asshole. Like, he's like, dude, stop.
I'm not gonna be in the dude. I gotta get the shot. All right,
like, dude, like, come on, like, I'm gonna keep kicking. If you hit your ball, that's your fault. I think the thing is, like, yeah, Bruce Lee was in his younger days was kind of an asshole, and like he sort of learned to be, I think, a better person. Or I don't even know his real life, but that's sort of that's what I would like to believe.
The only thing I remember seeing a documentary once where Chuck Norris was talking about his fight with him. Yeah. Because like they were legitimately like martial arts experts. And, like, I remember Chuck Norris asking, like, so who's going to win the fight? And Bruce Lee's response was, like, I'm going to win. It's my movie. Like, it's my movie. I'm going to fucking win the fight. All right? Yeah. And I just remember, like, it seems like something he'd do. So, wow, it's really dumb. Like, all right. This is man. My next one, I don't think you saw. It's a Netflix exclusive movie.
Ooh, always good time.
Yeah. Well, it's not the one you think. And this one's called The Babysitter. Ooh. And it's this horror movie.
Which one did you think I thought it was?
The other one? The one that the one that we just discussed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, alright. The Babysitter, like,
I was thinking about Death Note, but like, no, it can't be Death Note because you already said Death Note.
Yeah, it's this thing that like it desperately wanted to be a really corny horror movie. Yeah. With like, so what happened is like it's like this nerdy kid. Mm-hmm. He was like his glasses and a tucked in white shirt. He has like a button that says #Save Pluto or something.
Or
like,
does he have a pocket protector too?
He might have. I don't remember. So like he's bullied at school and shit by a black kid, by the way. I'll get into that. All right, okay. And the only thing he has his super hot babysitter who's
Yeah.
really into sci-fi and nerdy stuff like that.
So this kid's like what, in 7th grade or?
Just about, yeah, he's a little kid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got his hot babysitter, and he's just like, she's super into sci-fi and stuff and shit. And then like he's like, oh man, my babysitter's awesome. So he goes to bed, and he sees that the babysitter invited friends over. And he's staring at them because he thinks something hot's gonna happen because he's watching. So he's just like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And then out of nowhere, the babysitter and her friends fucking stab a kid. And like, turns out they're fucking Satanists, and they're gonna steal the pure blood of the kid to use for their ritual.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So suddenly it becomes this like he has to like escape all of them as individuals. There's like 4 characters that are trying to kill him all at once, and it's like ridiculous. And it desperately wants to be corny fun, but it's not because. It's so weighed down by how garbage the editing is and how like shitty like the sets are. Like I swear, like this house they live in is like every room's a whole different color scheme, and it looks disgusting.
What I can guess is that most people, when they're trying to intentionally make a B movie, most of the time they don't have the budget for like an A production movie. Yeah. So most of the time they're working with what they have, and because of the passion that they have for it, is what makes it a fun campy romp. But in this one, it seems like it's Netflix, so they probably had the budget and chose to go.
Because the movie looks nice, as far as like it looks like it was like the budget was fine. But the way like they're shooting and the way like because like it takes more than you're right. Like what makes a B movie so hammy and funny is that like they're trying their best.
Not only that, but an intentional B movie. Restraint breeds creativity. Yeah. So you might not have the budget, but if you're good or bad, you find a way to jump the solution, to skip ahead to something that works, and that's why it's fun. Yeah. But when you're trying to make that, it's just so clear and it's so corny. And again, like, dude, like, it's this kind of thing where, like, was it intentionally racist? No. But it's hard to come across. It's hard to not come across like that when you're only characters. Because, like, there are exactly 2 black people in this movie. Ooh. One was the bully. Yeah. He wore, like, a headband. And he was a big, fat, black kid. And he was, like, mean to the little, nerdy white kid. The second black guy was one of the murderers. And he's just like, he's scared, like he's the Kevin Hart screaming like, he's like, yo bro, wanna listen to my mixtape or whatever? And like, that's kind of racist. Yes! Oh my god! And again, like, did they mean it like that? Probably not. But when you have only a certain amount of, a certain race in it, and they're all stereotypes, it's hard to not. That's gonna bring something up a little bit later. But continue. Yeah. And just like, and then at the end, it's just so, it's one of those things where like, you know, horror movies like... Well, here's the question. Was the dialogue very bad? Yeah. Because that reminds me of one of my favorite campy B movies, Battle Royale. Like, it's obvious that they didn't have the budget for super intense blood effects, right? So it's all kind of corny. Yeah. But the dialogue very much reflects that it was kind of intentional. Or that they weren't trying to be serious. Because there's this running joke about this kid. He asked him, like, oh, how do you know how to be a doctor? Oh, how do you know how to do stitches? Like, oh, my dad was a doctor, right? It's like, oh, that's cool. And then later on, it's like, wow, how did you learn how to cook so well? It's like, oh, my dad's a cook for a living. At the end, they leave off of a boat. Like, wow, I can't believe you know how to drive a boat. That's crazy. It's like, yeah, my dad was a fisherman. Just like his dad's everything. Yeah, so it's like, it's just a running joke, and it's very, you could tell, like, okay, they're obviously making a joke. They're obviously not being 100% serious, but if it's just corny dialogue. Yeah. So when you see, like, corny effects, you think, okay, I can laugh along with this movie. But when you're describing how it's like everything is just bad, you think, this is just a bad movie. Yeah, like, there's only so much, like, because there are some scenes that, like, do work. There was this one scene that was funny where, like, they have the kid tied up to a chair, and he has like a pocket knife, and he's trying to distract them while he's like cutting himself, and then like the babysitter goes up and he's like,
you know, there's a mirror behind you, right? And, like, and then there's a clear mirror, like, with him cutting himself, like, cutting the thing. And, like, that was a joke that worked.
Yeah.
But it was just so, like, I couldn't get lost in its hamminess because everything else was also really bad.
Yeah. It's
Like,
very clear that even it's just bad. They weren't trying. You can't tell if they're trying to be bad or not.
Because, like, if everything else is so shitty, I can't really take it as, like, oh, that was intentional, because this kind of stuff isn't what you should be making intentionally bad.
Yeah.
Like maybe having...
effects, maybe. Like, here's the thing. Cheap doesn't equal bad.
Yeah, definitely not. That's not true. Like, it just, like, there's...
So, if you make a bad movie that's funny, it's funny because you didn't know that you were trying to make a bad movie. And if it's like a B movie that's intentionally B movie, it's not bad. It's just cheap.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Mm-hmm. It felt like it was halfway between a legitimate horror movie and scary movie, like the comedy, where there was some things that you could see in scary movie, but there was also a lot you could just see in a regular movie. So it was all just bad, and again, potentially racist. But potentially racist runs in my top 3, as you'll see. All right.
Dude, actually, my number 2 is unintentionally racist, but I'm not there yet.
We're not there yet. We're not there. Yeah. So what's your number 3?
One of the hardest sits I had in theaters, man. You know what it is.
Just go.
Bad Moms.
Oh, you kept it in there? Wow.
This is not objectively the worst movie ever made. And if you like it, I get it, because this movie obviously wasn't made for me.
Yeah.
But I had the luxury of seeing the first movie.
Yeah, okay.
And the first movie, while not a great movie, it didn't strike a chord with me. I could see what they were going for. They just wanted to make a movie about motherhood. They had that theme in there. They tried something. They didn't always hit the mark, but otherwise it was just a good old fashioned chick flick. And who am I to judge, right?
Yeah.
But this movie, oh my god, it's just so fucking hard to sit through, man.
Maybe I would have felt the same way if I had saw the first one, but I made an active effort to keep Bad Moms off. I was really like, I really want to take this off, and I'm glad I saw Mother because that helped me get it off.
Yeah, because the theme. Like, the theme really doesn't work here because they're fucking adults dealing with, like, oh my god, my mom is insufferable, but, like, just tell them to fuck off, man. You're 30. Tell your mom to fuck off to another planet. Just leave me the fuck alone. Like, I can understand the first movie. It was very difficult because, you know, the main character is going through a divorce, and she didn't know how to tell her kids about it. She didn't even know how they would react. And she was just so stressed with being a good mom that she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to take some time for me. Which doesn't always work because she stops fucking feeding her kids. Yeah. But other than that, you know, I get it. It's stressful. But here it's just like, oh no, mom, you are so overbearing, and the moms are so over the fucking top in this movie. They don't exist in reality, so I can't sympathize when she's making her entire family go to, like, this 5-hour nutcracker version where, like, people actually die. Yeah. I'm just like, dude, you're fucking an adult. Tell her I'm going to take my children to a fucking fun time because that's what they want. Yes. And man, and all of the dialogue is really bland and uninteresting, and
I made an active effort.
I actually Googled this movie or whatever, or no, I searched a lot of, and it didn't strike a chord with me. Nothing. When you're watching a bland comedy, where none of the jokes hit, you're just bored. You're not doing anything. And at least with some bad comedies, or that aren't completely interesting, at least the story is good enough to where, like, okay, I kind of want to see, like, Paul Blart Mall Cop. Oh, yeah. Not a fantastic movie, not groundbreaking in terms of cinema, but, and it's not even the best comedy ever made, but I'm still invested in the plot enough to where, like, you know, I'm not laughing consistently, but I kind of want to see where this goes, you know? And this one I just wasn't. The only time that made me laugh was when Kenny G told me
It's a flute. It's not a flute. But,
It's not a flute, bitch.
Yeah, it's not a flute, bitch.
almost called her Mia Khalifa.
Stop.
Okay, so
Mila Kunis.
yeah. Oh man.
What happened?
Oh no, I was looking for a specific thing. Oh man, I don't have the review here. Oh man. Oh wait, hold on. Oh no. There was one review online that I thought was great. I can't find it, but it went to the effect of our theater was closing. The last movie that it ever showed was Bad Moms 2. Bad Moms Christmas. Me and my friends went to the local theater. For the next hour and a half, it was the greatest movie ever made. It was the last movie that ever showed at this local theater.
Oh, dude.
It's like, fuck, man. And I actually looked at other reviews, and a lot of people did seem to like it, even if they didn't like it as much as the first one. I mean, I get that. It just wasn't. It was just so not for me.
Yeah.
It's so far removed from the first one. I couldn't even. Something that I realized afterwards is that in the first movie, Mila Kunis is the main character, and the other two are just sort of side characters. So we only ever really see the movie from her point of view.
Yeah.
But now we get to see from all three of them because they're all fucking stars.
Yeah.
And all of them are very boring. All of their storylines are very boring.
Mm-hmm.
And if they had just delegated it to one, to just Mila Kunis, maybe it would have been a little more sufferable.
And like maybe you're right, or like at the very least, if they had personalities that clashed, because the only one that had personality was the one that shit, I never remember her name. The one who had the trashy mom.
Oh yeah.
And let's see, it's
Barbara Streisand.
Catherine Hahn.
No, not Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. Catherine Hahn.
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, Susan Sarandon. Catherine Hahn's cool. Like Catherine Hahn plays a cool character in Parks and Rec. And I like her.
In the first movie, she's pretty good because, like, when Mila Kunis decides, I want to be a bad mom, she's like, I'm already a bad mom, so let's fucking do this shit.
Her and Susan Sarandon are the ones, like, but yeah, it would maybe, like, if they had personalities that clashed, maybe, but Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell are so devoid of any real character. And, like...
Yeah, like, they're basically just playing themselves at this
point. Like, almost.
Wasn't Mila Kunis' mom in this movie is extremely white?
Yeah.
Her dad is extremely white, so... It's just very jarring.
Yeah. And, like, Catherine Hahn has a character, but her mom is just, like, you know, like, just an exaggerated version of her. It would have worked better if, like, if Catherine Hahn's character is this really trashy party girl, but her mom is, like, this, like, maybe she had the overprotective and, like, needy mom or something like that.
Or if Mila Kunis' mom, instead of just being like, you're not gonna have Christmas? Oh, how ghastly!
Yeah.
It would. I think it would have been if she was more passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna.
Yeah. Instead
of.
Oh,
you're making that
exaggerative villain instead of being exaggerative villain, just like, you went with that.
She was super racist too. She was a Mexican boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, yo, my name's Jess. It's like, yeah, whatever, Julio.
Yeah.
Whatever, Juan.
Yeah, like calling generic names.
My question is, why does everyone go to Juan when they think of a Mexican dude?
I know, dude. That's weird. Like Juan or Pedro. Like,
Pedro.
Yeah.
Well, I blame.
Napoleon Dynamite for that one. Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about Napoleon Dynamite.
You should do that. Yeah.
Because Napoleon Dynamite, it's so fucking dry. But that's what makes the humor pop.
We need to rewatch it. Yeah.
It's so fucking dude. There was a whole arc in that movie about how Napoleon Dynamite is in FFA and he's judging milk perfectly.
Yes.
But he's the only one in that competition, so he got first regardless of whether he was good or not.
Yes. We should definitely do that movie. But yeah, I'm surprised it's that high, but whatever, man.
I mean, this is one of the few, like, again, definitely not the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I have a list of, like, the worst movies I've ever seen. It definitely wouldn't make that list. But this was one of the few movies where I thought about leaving the theater, not because it was insufferably bad or it was insulting, just because it felt like a waste of time. It felt like I'm not gaining anything from watching this movie through. And I really don't think I did.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either.
And again, if you like this movie, that's cool because a lot of people did like this movie. And most of them were women. And I'm not a woman. Yeah. And I have a different sense of humor than these women. So obviously it didn't strike a chord with me. But like where some movies didn't strike a chord with me, but I could find a little bit of enjoyment, this one's just like so offbeat that I would never want to watch it again.
Yeah. So moving on, we got my number 2, bro.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the other one that we already got, I got Bright at number 2.
Dude, fucking go at it, dude.
I despised Bright,
fucking
dude.
go at it,
We
dude.
talked a lot about the story stuff when we went during your entry, but
Yeah.
also like just objectively from a filmmaking perspective,
Yeah.
Bright is just garbage. Like the lighting is just fucking off, exactly like it was in Suicide Squad. David Ayer, for whatever reason, loves fucking putting a degree of fucking shade over every shot.
Yeah. Even in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Or even like when bright lights are present, like when they have the wand and so far, everything's still dude, illuminate the room, like just like in front of Will Smith's face, it's bright, but where the orc is, a few steps back, it's still dark.
No.
The editing was garbage. Like so many fight scenes were so just incomprehensible because like these were cut, nothing like.
Yeah.
They're like my god. Max Landis is a sexual assaulter, but he's also like just a shitty writer.
Something I forgot to mention,
Yeah.
how one of the elf characters doesn't speak English for 2/3 of this movie. Not because she didn't know the language, but because she didn't want to.
Yeah.
Because at some point she just started speaking English.
Yeah, like you were so caught off guard. Like, wait, she can speak English? When did that happen? Like,
What about when she was screaming to save this dude's life? You think you might want to speak English at that point?
or when she was trying to warn them that the wand was gonna fucking annihilate them. She's like, stop, and then she's like, oh, I finally trust you now. And like
what?
That could have killed you.
Yeah.
Like all you had to do was say the wand's gonna fucking blow up. Like,
It was fucking goofy.
also, I'm gonna put it side by side in the editing.
dude. Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. But this is the second David Ayer movie starring Will Smith to have main characters be in the rain where all of the men were covered up and the woman was just wearing a white t-shirt. Like such a specific kind of shot. Like, as in Suicide Squad, you got...
One bada boing.
I need to go watch all the David Ayer films to see if he does that, because that's just a pattern now of him. Like, and it just so... I feel so bad. Like, how anyone can see that. Just see Will Smith and the orc and the Mexican guy, who they make a joke out of him having a bunch of kids and they kill him.
What's that, Jesus?
I don't remember his name.
He had another J name.
Yeah, like...
Again, if you name a Mexican with like a primarily J name,
Yeah,
not
like-
saying that you're a racist, but I'm just saying you probably didn't put a lot of thought into what
yeah,
you're
like
gonna name him.
Jesus, Juan, Jaime. Like, those are kind of like...
You know what my Mexican character's name is?
What?
Andrew Perez.
That's good. That's good.
That's all you fucking need.
Dude, my name. Like, most Mexican people have regular names.
My brother's name is Alejandro.
Yeah.
But we all just call him Alex.
Yeah, like, we're still American, dude. We
Yeah.
make an effort.
Got a friend named David.
Yeah.
Michael, Jesse. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
They're all just Mexicans, dude.
They
Like,
just have Mexican last names.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, like, they make a big deal out of, like, they make a joke out of, like, oh, man, I got my 5th kid. And then he fucking dies.
Yeah, like
They don't call any attention to that.
yeah, man. They're still blaming us for the Alamo, and it's like they don't.
No, we don't.
No, they don't.
They don't. Never once have I heard that.
I mean, I've just heard we've always heard yo, Mexicans are kind of they kind of stormed the place, but we're cool now.
Yeah, like that's such a weird. Like, I guess that has to go down to writing.
Like, am I not Mexican enough to know that?
Yeah,
or?
apparently not. Like, but that's just weird because they could have they were going for a lazy racist joke anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so they might as well have just gone with the job thing. That would have been much better because it would have made more sense as a joke, and it still happens. Like, if it would have said how do you think we feel? We still get shit about your jobs or whatever, and that would have been a much finer joke because it would.
Or just been dude, they took forever to get. It was dude, if it took us years for them to get cool with us.
Yeah,
like you're fucked.
And that's another thing.
That would have been funny. It's
yeah,
dude, oh my god, I'm the first orc called. Yeah, dude, don't worry, they're fucking on us for that shit. You'll be fine.
Which is annoying because the way he said it, it completely destroys the world. Because the world at this point was supposed to be the humans are racist to the fairy tale creatures. It's like Shrek or some shit.
Yeah.
But he implies that people are still racist towards Mexicans. So who's racist towards the Mexicans?
Yeah.
Are they? And they try to make the elves the white people, but that never comes forth. They're always they're
just generic elves to me.
Yeah, they show that they had the big city and Will Smith. Man, elves are assholes. The villains are elves, but a good chunk of good guys are also elves. The FBI, they're elves. They did a terrible job establishing the elves as the villains.
Like nobody seems to be racist towards you, Will Smith. I mean, you seem pretty fine.
Well, I mean, he still lives in a ghetto, which means black people are still segregated to ghettos because of systemic racism.
Yeah.
So like,
but I mean, like nobody's uncool with you having a job.
Yeah, like, so it's weird. It's weird. Like, okay, you're establishing humans are racist against the orcs, but humans are also racist against other humans that are of different skin color. Because they even make the joke, like in the beginning, like the guy from the ghetto is like, take him out, you LAPD people do, like, oh, so there's police brutality towards black people in this world. So why the fuck should I care about your racism to the orcs when you're clearly still racist to each other? Like, I hate it. I hate it.
It's really bad,
dude. Like the minute I finish this, I'm like, this is garbage. Just like it was.
I feel like I would write something like this in high school because I think like, dude, what is that really cool? Like it's real life, but there's fairy tales and it's super dark.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say something deep about life.
Yeah, dude. It's exactly that. And like, it's because Max Landis is like, he's a child. He's entitled. Never had to worry about anything child because his daddy's rich. His daddy directed like Blues Brothers and shit like that. So like, he's such a super immature writer, and like, he's awful. And I'm glad. I genuinely hope he's never allowed to write a movie again.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he never finds another job, and I hope this is his life, because this is bad. All right, they're making that like legit. It was the second half of December, and then when Bright came, it was December 22nd. We're legit 10 days away, like 10 days away from 2017 being over. People are calling it the worst movie of 2017, and they're right. It is that bad.
It fucking deserves.
I think like,
again, that's why it didn't hit me hard for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I was enjoying a good time with my friend.
Yeah,
but I still, even though it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would, I can still recognize it as a bad film.
Yeah.
Despite that,
I think this was objectively the worst film of 2017. But I have it at number 2 because my number 1 is much more personal. But if I was making a pure objective list, Bright would be number 1. It's definitely the worst movie of 2017.
Yeah, Bright's definitely worst shot movie. And like Bad Moms, at the very least, like the only reason I like it a little bit more is because there's some goofy shit in it, like the elf.
Oh my god!
Fucking trying to killing people.
And the centaur. People racist towards the centaurs. There's so many like creatures in this thing. Like, why is
we only ever see orcs though?
Yeah, like you see
an elf. Those are the two most boring.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want to see like a fucking chimera.
Yeah, dude, something griffins or like.
Dude,
I don't know. We'll see what the sequel's like with the new writer.
Oh yeah, I don't.
We'll see. Like, it was pretty much unpredictable. I guess it depends on whether you think like film as a director or a written medium.
Well, I mean, again, there's only so much a script can do with David Ayer at this point.
Yeah, like, so it really depends.
Like, you said he directed Fury, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So the only movie that he just has the same style for everything. The only reason it worked in Fury kind of was because it was a war movie. So maybe we should tell him like, yo, not every movie's Fury, dude. Not every movie is Nazi Germany in World War II. So stop fucking shooting like that.
He also did End of Watch, whatever.
End of Watch.
Yeah, whatever.
So you know what, David Ayer, you're not totally inept, but you just have one fucking shooting style, and it doesn't always work.
Yes. Oh my god. I don't know. I guess I should check out the other films. Maybe he's fine. But from the 2 films of his I've seen, he seems genuinely untalented. But
well, again, I don't know a lot about. I didn't know like directing or editing style, so I might have missed that in the first one. But overall, like the tone of the movie, the direction felt fine. So it might just be like, oh hey, this style doesn't work for a superhero movie, and it doesn't work for a goofy fucking orc movie.
Yeah. So yeah, just like the immaturity of Max Landis and the fucking too like serious for his own good David Ayer just did not fucking mesh well. So alright, moving on. What's your number 2, bro? Number 2 worst film.
Ooh, my number 2. I'm not even sure if this fucking counts, but I put it on there anyways.
What?
A Christmas Story Live.
Oh, I mean, whatever, man. Like,
I mean, it is technically a movie still because they showed it on like TBS. It's a musical.
Yeah.
But it's a movie musical.
So,
I had to watch this on my own.
Yeah.
And I couldn't watch it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
So I had to drink it. I had to put vodka in my orange soda. So I had to get drunk.
Yeah.
And I had to also half watch it while cleaning my room in order to get through it because it's so fucking bad.
Oh my god.
So removed from its own source material that I would never have watched it had I not gotten drunk, and I had not only been half watching it.
Oh my god.
So, I'm gonna sound like a hipster for a little bit. I watched A Christmas Story before it showed 24 hours on TBS every Christmas. So I fucking love A Christmas Story.
Before it was a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I owned it before it became a classic. So I fucking love that movie. It's real. It might be one of my favorite movies of all time in general.
Yeah.
And it's just a very simple story about a boy and one of his Christmas stories. That's it. It's nothing complicated. It's not, this is a moral that I learned for the rest of my life. No, it's just a dude recounting a good memory of his life.
Yeah.
And it feels so heartfelt because of that. And this one, they're turning it into this huge spectacle. And that's so much not what it is. And it just, oh my god, all of the fucking songs are so bad in this movie, man. They're so unmemorable. Nobody can really sing that well. And let's see. Have you seen A Christmas Story?
I have not.
Okay, so whenever they make a musical of like a regular movie, you sort of predict like, okay, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give most of the important moments a song, right?
Yeah.
So and they do that, but they do way worse. So, like there's this one scene where the dad's filling out a crossword puzzle. And in the original movie, that's a real short scene, and it's only to set up that he wins a prize later. But in this movie, they show he has a whole fucking song and dance number about fucking crossword puzzles. And they even switched the set to a Jeopardy style game for a fucking crossword puzzle for a moment that nobody fucking cared about in the movie, in the first movie. And they even cut out one of the best parts, personally. Actually, A Christmas Story is basically all really good parts.
Yeah.
So if I ever mention, like, hey, what's the most classic part of A Christmas Story, you'll get, like, 10 different answers. Because that's how...
Because you're saying it's just, like, a simple story?
Yeah.
So it's
like,
more about, like, the little moments rather than the overarching, like, story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest moments in my post is, like, he gets, like, a decoder ring. And, like, he has to figure out what it says, right? And he's, like, so into it because he's, like, a little kid. And the narrator's like, oh, my God, I was so nervous. What does it say? She needs my help. Little Annie needs my help. So he's doing it. He's like, oh, my fucking God. And his mom is pounding on the restroom door because he's doing this in the restroom. And she's like, hey, your brother has to use the restroom. Hurry up. So he's getting real intense. And once he finally does it, it says, make sure to drink your Ovaltine. And he's just like, son of a bitch. They completely cut that out of the movie.
Well, of course, I get it, because it's an ABC, like, family thing, I assume.
And they replace it. Oh, and there's... Oh, fuck, there's so many good scenes in this movie. But there's one scene where he says fudge. But he doesn't actually say fudge. He says fuck.
Yes, of course.
So they can't say that. So then he blames his friend Schwartz for telling him that word, even though it was his dad. And then the mom spanks him. Yeah. And in the movie, that was basically it, right? The first one. But in this one, they added a scene where he goes to apologize to Schwartz. And then Schwartz's mom, has a song and dance song about Hanukkah.
What?
And I'm just like, I'm fucking skipping this part. Because you added this part that has it's so dumb. Yeah. And I'm just like, who is this lady? Who did they get? I don't know who she is, but she has to be someone so important that they had to entirely write a new scene for this fucking movie in order to put another pointless song. The only reason I remember those songs was because how bad they were. Yeah. All the other songs are unmemorable. You have Matthew Broderick as a narrator, which is kind of fucking weird because it's not only...
He has an awkward voice.
Yeah, and he's actually present. He's not just a narrator. I don't know how to keep saying this. Like, he's just a narrator in the movie, the regular one. But in this one, he's like out and doing shit, right?
Okay.
And it's just kind of awkward watching Matthew Broderick standing fucking around.
I mean, Matthew Broderick's awkward enough as it is. Like,
yeah, he has this weird like comb over.
You know what I saw recently? I saw Deck the Halls with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito.
Oh my god, that's one of the movies I forgot existed.
Dude, it's so good. I was really into it. Yeah. Like, we should watch that one because I forget how genuinely good an actor Danny DeVito is because I'm so used to him being
the trash man.
I'm the trash man.
I fucking love Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
man.
he's amazing. He's like. Did you see that meme that got really popular? It was like of that girl in her underwear looking into the mirror.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She saw Danny DeVito, and I'm
dude,
like,
I love the comments.
Dude,
Like,
you
I
should-
fucking love the idea of, like, girls just fucking think they're Danny DeVito.
dude, you should thrive to be Danny DeVito. He's
Danny
just,
DeVito's a cool
he's such
guy.
a like because
I'm the trash man.
he's such a just an amazingly charismatic and good actor,
Yeah.
and like
He doesn't have to be
yeah.
super attractive.
Yeah, to like get your attention and be like you're just invested in him because he's a cool guy.
Did you remember this Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where he eats like a raw crow?
It's just gross.
Yeah. I was like, they're like, nah, they make this whole thing about burying it, and the next day he's like, oh my god, I think that bird had worms. Oh my god, I fucking love Danny DeVito, man.
Did you see that episode? It's in one of the later seasons where the whole thing takes place from like this perspective, like his perspective.
I don't think I saw that one.
Dude, it's so good. Like it's a whole regular day of It's Always Sunny
Yeah.
like, at the bar, but it's in Danny DeVito's first person perspective. So it's just him going through the day doing drugs and like interacting with people and just it's
Okay.
amazing.
Okay,
Alright.
so another part that actually made me almost laugh
Yeah.
was there's this part that they added where Maya Rudolph, who's
Yeah.
playing the mom in this movie, she
Yeah.
breaks the lamp,
Yeah.
the glorious lamp that the father loves, and he gets mad at her like he does. But the part that they add is when he leaves to go get like more duct tape or whatever, or glue. The mom just tells the kids like you just like you never listen to me, kids. Like I just told you to go to. Oh, I'm gonna leave. And she fucking leaves, and then the kids have this song with like maybe if we put the lamp together, maybe mom and dad's marriage will put together, and then they can't do it. I was like, this is fucking. Why did they add this?
It sounds a lot because, like, from what you're explaining to me, A Christmas Story sounds like a very like when did it come out? Like 90s? 80s?
It was actually the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, like it sounds very like with the spanking and it sounds very
Well,
like
dude,
the real like
Yeah, because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I can go on. We need to watch A Christmas Story. 'cause
Yeah.
But another part where like she puts soap in his mouth
Yeah.
when she says fuck,
Yeah.
and he has like this whole fantasy, which is the best part in my opinion of the movie. Was there's a lot of dumb fantasies
Yeah.
where like he comes home, right, and he's blind. He was stricken blind. And they're like, the parents are like, oh my god, why are you blind? Like, tell us, even if it hurts us. And they're like, he's like, it was soap poisoning. And the parents are like, no. And it's like, and as I'm older, now I'm like, dude, I mean, it would have been so great to be the parents in that scene. Just like, no, like, we're so sorry.
That's amazing. Yeah,
So-
it sounds like The Christmas Story was really like not gritty, but like just like
It is very real.
real. While like this is ABC Family where kids are watching it, so they need to make it like really like
Yeah.
whimsical and nice for it to be a musical, and they do that. Like I know like they ruined The Sound of Music with Carrie Underwood. I've heard Grease was really bad. Their Rocky Horror Live was really bad.
I actually forgot something too. There was a whole musical number in the beginning that had nothing to do with the actual Christmas Story. It was just like basically a Mariah Carey ripoff song that had no. I was like, oh, this. I knew that's how I knew it was gonna be bad. And what else? Oh yeah, something else. I think one of the characters. They recast more characters as diverse, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, whatever. But one of the kids is black, and then there's a scene where they dare the black kid to lick a pole in order to see if his tongue will stick, and it sticks. And then they're like, "Fuck, dude, the bell rang. We gotta go back in." And in the original movie, you know, it's perfectly fine because like whatever, they don't know what to do, so they just leave him out there. When this one, they leave a fucking African American child out. They convince this dude to lick a pole and they leave him out there in the fucking like. That's gotta be like a hate crime, dude.
It very well could be.
Oh my god! And there's just so many little things that they add,
Yeah.
like the teacher that they have when she's starting out her class. She's like, "All right, class, let's." She stops in the middle of a sentence and adjusts something on her desk, and she does it again. He starts speaking, does it again, starts speaking, does it again. And then Matthew Broderick's ass is like, oh yeah, they didn't have a word for OCD back in the day, but like, yeah, she had OCD. I'm like, why did you add that? I don't care enough about this teacher.
Feels like something you should pay off. Like, was there a scene where the fact that she was OCD,
Nope,
like contribute to a joke or like a plot
also,
point?
I don't think they really understood that part in the movie because there's this very, she gets a song in number 2, but it's like very, sexy.
Yeah.
So I think they actually thought that Ralphie had a teacher, had a thing for his teacher, which he didn't. And another small thing is that they keep saying like, oh, the Parkers, like who the fuck are they talking about? Them family?
Yeah.
Like, I've watched this movie dozens of times over the years. I never knew their fucking last name. It's a very odd choice.
The Parkers.
Parker. And the biggest part,
Yeah.
which I almost thought was great, but then they ruined it.
Oh, okay.
So this will probably be one of the last things I say about the movie where Ken Jeong is in it, and there's there's another famous scene in the original movie where it's kind of racist because on Christmas Day their turkey dinner is ruined by dogs, so they have to go to a Chinese restaurant. Yeah. And when they sing carols, they're trying to sing "Deck the Halls" for them, so the fa la 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 la, but they're Asian. Yeah. So fa ra 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 ra. This is the original movie. Though.
Okay. Yeah. In 80s. Okay. Fine.
It's funny, but like I can understand why they would want to change this for a modern audience. I get it. It's like it's funny because it's funny because they're Asian. Yeah. It's like, you know what? This is a very small scene, and it doesn't entirely ruin the original one for me. Yeah. And it's not. It's kind of bad, but it's not. I can forgive this movie because of the time period setting. And this movie,
that doesn't sound as bad as like 16 Candles, like oh sexy girlfriend.
Yeah, and it's funny because like actually one guy actually can say he's like the guy who's conducting. He's like no, it's la la la, and they just don't get it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like that, it's just that one contained thing versus like in 16 Candles when that was a pretty prevalent character.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing: in the movie, I was like, I wonder how they're gonna do this. And then they sing it perfectly, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, that makes sense. This is a musical, right? Yeah. And Ken Jeong's like, oh, and the dad was like, oh, I didn't expect that. And Ken Jeong's like, what did you expect? Oh. And I was like, hey, that was a kind of fun change. It's a musical, so it makes sense that the one musical part is perfect. Yeah. That's funny. I didn't expect that. That's great. But then you have Ken Jeong say like, oh yeah, these 3 are my boys. They're all Ivy League, and except for this dude, but hey, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and we're not gonna. He's a good kid. Like, man, isn't this country amazing? Oh,
he did not say that.
And you know what I'm thinking of? Like, this movie was set in the fucking 40s. that realization is like, oh. That's why all the kids in the Christmas store were white. Segregation was still a thing back then.
Way a thing.
But like the movie is so charming. It's kind of like, you know what?
We were putting the Japanese in internment camps at that time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, here's the thing, and like when I'm thinking about this, like okay, I never considered the fact that why is this kid not in a diverse classroom? I always because it's so charming. It's like I believe that this kid just has a lot of white people in his class. Yeah. I have no reason to consider. I have no reason to. And they do the right thing, in my opinion, of just like, hey, I want to tell this fun, quirky story in this old Siamese setting. Yeah. Let's just not acknowledge it. I mean, I know that it's kind of hard for people to just not acknowledge these types of things.
Yeah, I know. But for me, it sounds like something that would bug me a little bit, but it depends.
But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, these people don't have a problem with going to the Chinese restaurant. They don't seem like they're racist.
It's just the time period was racist.
Yeah. It's like they seem like decent people. They love their kids. I mean, they seem like they would probably. So it's like, yeah, but Christmas Story Live, they like completely. There's 2 things that they shouldn't have acknowledged it, in my opinion. Yeah. Because like when you're dealing with a story set in this time period, there's only so much you can do. So if they had just made the cast diverse and just not mention like, oh yeah, this was kind of set in the 40s. Yeah. I think I might have been able to pass it, but they made it very clear, like, well, this is gray America, like nothing ever happened here.
Yeah, dude, like especially this makes sense in the 40s. That was prime World War II time. Like, like Japanese were definitely in internment camps.
And at the very least, the first movie, the original movie, just so charming,
Yeah.
so likable that, hey, these people seem like a nice family. I'm willing to give them a path. Like, they didn't choose to live in this time period.
Yeah. I get it. Wow, man, you went off on a
Well,
Christmas
dude,
Story
I
Live.
fucking love the original
That was
movie,
one of the
man.
that was one of the least things I expected. That was the last thing that I
Well,
expected.
dude, because the first one is near and dear to my heart, and yes, it
Yeah.
has problems. And the diversity thing, yes, you can say it's a problem.
Yeah.
I get that shit.
Yeah.
But the story is just very heartfelt.
Yeah.
And you feel for this kid because all he fucking wants is a BB gun, and nobody wants to get it for him. And at the end of the movie, the person who gets it for him is the least likely person, which is his dad. And his dad's like, I know what it's like to be a kid. I know what it's like to want something. And my dad got me a BB gun, and I felt great, and I just wanted to pass that on to my kid. And you're thinking, like, man, like, this dad's kind of mean. He's kind of crass, but you fucking like him. And you like all of these characters.
Feel it.
Oh.
I feel it for you, dude.
Oh, and at the end of the movie, Matthew Broderick fucking shakes hands with his fucking child version of himself.
And that's just weird to look at.
I mean, like he's real then? Like, what?
Wow, I cannot
Did he
believe
time travel?
I cannot believe the journey you just took me through.
Dude, we need to watch A Christmas Story, dude.
We definitely
It's
should
a
give
fucking
it a
fantastic
shot.
film.
So, moving forward, we're gonna be reaching it, dude. My least favorite movie of 2017. You know what it is?
Oh yeah, you want me to say it? Or you want to say it?
Nah, I'm gonna say it. My least favorite movie of 2017, Baby Driver. One of the most critically acclaimed film. Because again,
All right, Josh. All right, enough jokes. Enough jokes. Why don't you tell us your real number one?
Nope. You're doing a bit.
I am doing a bit because you fucking told me this shit as soon as we saw this fucking movie.
Yeah, we saw it. Well, because you had already saw it, right, at the time.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, like, because you had already seen it, and like we saw it together, and we went out, and I told you what I didn't like about it, and you're like, I didn't even think of it like that. Like,
Yeah.
essentially, like, okay. So first off, from an objective perspective, like I guess I have to be, since we're a thing. Yeah. Like, oh, I guess I have to be fair to the movie, like.
Whatever.
Yeah, but just like the movie has a lot of style.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. But like, I gotta say, like,
It's a fun.
it is fun. But like, if we're being honest, that's it. Cause narratively, it's corny and generic. Like, there isn't really that much going on. Like, I never doubted for a second what was gonna happen. It was very predictable.
Yeah.
And like, it's not, the characters weren't that dynamic or anything.
Also, you know, it wasn't the movie's fault, but it's kind of creepy now. Like with our hindsight.
Oh yeah.
To have Kevin Spacey be super close to the kid named Baby.
Yeah, like when you get into it, like the meta narrative of this, Kevin Spacey found a child, he kept it, forced him to do things for him, lied to him that it would stop eventually, and then at the end of the day, he was like fucking forgiven.
And he nicknamed this kid Baby.
And just, it's very uncomfortable.
Because he doesn't talk.
Oh my god, he doesn't talk, and he follows orders very obediently without question. It's so bad. Like,
dude, this fucking
Kevin Spacey, like,
wasn't the director's fault.
Yeah, Edgar Wright is was genuinely one of the most talented people, and like talented.
Should have gone with Robert De Niro.
That would have worked. So just like that, so like, yeah, it's fun but nothing else. That the love interest was like the most generic.
I don't even. Donna, is her name Donna?
I don't fucking remember her name for shit, dude.
I don't fucking remember her name either.
Yeah, like, she was just so plainly existing just to be that. And like, again, like, so the thing that killed the movie for me was at the end when he was driving away. You know, I would have liked this movie. Like, this movie probably would have made my top 10 best.
Yeah.
If they had just driven off into the sunset. Like,
yeah.
And because again, it was a corny narrative, but it was fun, and so naturally it would end corny. I was into it.
Yeah.
I was much more into Baby as a character than I thought I'd be at the time.
He's got those fucking shades.
Yeah, the shades.
He's just fucking rocking the music.
His music's pretty cool.
Like, he's kind of corny, but at the same time, like, dude, he's kind of rock. He's kind of owning that shit.
Yeah. And then they arrested him, and I thought, okay, that's an even better ending. So like, he got arrested. He's in jail, and he gets a postcard from his girl. Like, okay, you did a wrong thing. You're paying for it, but there's hope in the future.
And also, your name is Miles. Ain't that cool?
Yeah, what was this full Miles what?
Miles Prower.
Miles per hour, my God. Like, that would have been a fine ending, probably the best ending they could have picked.
Actually, I don't know his last
Miles
name.
per hour!
That wasn't his last name. That was Tails
Oh.
from Sonic the Hedgehog. That's his real name, Miles Prower.
I didn't know. That's so stupid.
So it's Sonic the Hedgehog and Miles Prower, but his nickname is Tails.
Oh my God. I was texting my friend, and she said, I asked her what she was doing, and she says, "Oh, I'm watching the show on Netflix called Brain," and she sends me a picture of what she's watching. I'm like, "Who's that?" Like, "Oh, that's Lord Narcisse," and I'm like,
What?
and I'm just like, "Is he an arrogant villain?" And she's like, "Yeah." Like,
How'd you know?
Yeah, yeah. She caught it too. She didn't care, but I felt like really like. So he's narcissist or like what? And it's just like it's dumb.
Narcissist.
And like that's really dumb, Miles per hour. But yeah, so it would have been a fine ending if like okay, they're like you're in prison, all seems lost, but there's hope for the future because love prevails. Whatever would have been fine. And instead they went with all the character witnesses, and everyone's like, oh, he may have murdered a bunch of people and like robbed banks and like stole cars.
I mean, he murdered Jamie Foxx. That's like a hate crime.
Yeah,
actually, he did it out of hate. So.
Yeah, like I mean, we knew that Jamie Foxx was shitty, but he didn't. So like, so all it took was them telling a judge like, yeah, he's a nice guy, and he got off on probation. He got like 5 years.
Like, dude, people with a joint get about that much.
Yeah, like he got 5 years, and he got off in like a little bit off good behavior. Like, what white privilege shit is this? I was so mad.
Man, like I wish that wasn't accurate.
Yeah, it was just so disappointingly. I like the way you put it. Like, yo, if that was Michael B. Jordan, that shit wouldn't have happened.
You would have gone away from life, dude.
Yes, you would have gotten life if that was Michael B. Jordan. I would have loved Michael B. Jordan and Baby Driver, honestly, though.
I would, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if instead he was Jamie Foxx's character.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would have been dope. He would have acted better than
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx. And that like again like. Even if you don't think that's particularly racist, it's at least the least interesting ending they could have picked.
Well, I mean, it's also kind of messed up that they have the black guy as an angry sociopath.
Yeah, like that's
who acts purely out of emotion.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, like Jamie Foxx's character, he's the only character, like, of these characters included imprisoning child molester. Like, Jamie Foxx's character was the only one that didn't get a redemption.
Yeah.
Like, cause like,
oh yeah, they fucking murdered the shit out of him.
Yeah, like they murdered him super violently. And like, you know, they gave Kevin Spacey this like, God, I cared about you at the end of the day. I just love you, you baby. Like
and the other guys, they were still mad, but it was mainly because he betrayed them.
Yeah, and because like his wife died.
Yeah.
So he at least had an out. They kind of half mentioned that Jamie Foxx had a kid, but they didn't acknowledge that when they fucking impaled him into a truck. So all right.
Like, what did you do to him? Like, I moved.
Yeah, like.
Was I slow?
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
Like, okay. The other black person, his caretaker, was a completely disabled individual that was dependent on his white caretaker. So that's also bad. And then the final one was the lady who he jacked the car from. It was all like, "Don't take away my purse," and they gave her like, he's a really nice boy. Like those are the only 3 black people in the whole movie.
Like, that should have been played by Tyler Perry. Like, oh hell no, you ain't gonna take my damn purse.
Medea goes to beat the shit out of baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you what, he gave my purse back.
Yeah.
He may not be the sharpest tool in the shit, but I'll tell you what, I'm going country with this.
Yeah, I agree. So like, I can't help but feel that was like a little too coincidental.
Well, here's how I think it should have ended.
Yeah.
Like, baby's like on the bus going to prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like out in the open road. There's nobody there, and you see like a few cars slip by, right?
Yeah.
Like they're real low to the ground, and they fucking swoop under the bus.
Yeah.
And then they fucking shoot anchors at it, and they fucking flip the bus over, and you find out Vin Diesel's in it. And then they fucking get baby out, and baby is now part of Fast and the Furious canon.
I would have loved that. I would have adored that. I would have made the best movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or if like Donna and Baby, I think her name's Donna. If they just recreated the scene from Fast and the Furious, where like Vin Diesel looks at.
It looks at Paul Walker.
Yeah, like they just do that exact scene.
Yeah,
just
like he's my brother. And I'll see
in
you.
a long
It's been a long time. No, how to go? Since I see you, my friend,
but I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Yeah, it's like Michelle Rodriguez comes out and like in the trial, like, baby, we're fucking family. Don't betray your family.
Yeah, I can't. Like after I remember after we left, I told you like I need to sit on this because I'm not sure. Can I genuinely call this a good movie if this is gonna bother me that much? And I couldn't. I legit could not let that ending or any of its implication, like, I couldn't just ignore it. I tried to. I really did. I'm like, the rest of it is so fun. It's so well shot. Edgar Wright's so talented.
Let me tell you something. My number one, not to like cut you off, dude. I just want to say it's in there for one scene and one scene alone. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So that's how I usually organize lists. Like I have like 10 through 3 are like, 10 through 2 are just my objective. Like, technically, number 2 is, like, the worst, and then number 1 is just a personal thing.
I'm actually fucking all over the place.
Yeah, I mean...
Because, like, with Valerian, I'm like, okay, this is definitely number 10 or number 9. I am not removing this for anything, because I need to talk about this with someone.
I know, like lists, like, people try with, like, usually lists, like, they aren't literally an objective ranking from, like, least bad to most bad. They're just more of, like, a what order you want them to be in. Like, you're right, I'll have, like, this is definitely 10. Like, maybe I hate this one more than the other one, but this feels like a number 10 spot.
Yeah.
Like, lists...
And like, whereas, like, fucking, I don't know, Alien Covenant, I had a 3 for a long time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just taking it fucking off. Yeah. I want to talk about Briar. I want to talk about, I have to talk about Jumanji.
List making is a lot more than just objective, like, placing. That's why. But my usual thing is, like, number 10 and 9. Number 10 is usually... I just want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like, 9 through 3 is just, like, a mishmash of different things, whatever you want. 2 is objectively the worst thing, and then 1 is a personal pick. That's usually how mine goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, that was mine. Adiel, we're finishing this off. Worst movie of 2017.
All right, just let me know. All right, number 1 objective movie today. A movie that I just fucking like, hey, did this movie come out this year? It did? All right, let me watch it. Fuck it. I kind of want to see this movie, and it was fucking horrible.
What was...
Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
Wow, you put that high. Did that come out this year?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. I
think you're thinking about you might be thinking about Teen Titans versus Justice League.
No, I did see. Oh, I fucking forgot about the Judas Contract. Honestly, that would have made my top 10 if I would have known. Where would I have put that? What would I have cut?
Oh my fucking god. Because here's the thing. I want to talk about. This is a sequel, right?
I would have cut Ninjago if I would have known that came out this year. Because I also fucking hated the Judas Contract. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, how much of it had to do with Terra?
Almost like 95%.
Yeah, that was so bad. Okay, you can go.
Okay, so this is a sequel to Teen Titans vs. Justice League,
which was fine.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, there's this whole fucking dance scene.
Yeah,
with Beast Boy that's so ugly and bad. Dude, they have a fucking anime Sailor Moon fucking power-up with Starfire.
I think I hated, like, the anime, like, coupling of, like, Robin and Raven, too. Like,
honestly, I don't even think it was intentional, but, like, like, fucking Beast Boy has an anime transformation. You just see fucking Damien just going to the car like, fuck, dude, I need my shit. Like, come on, dude. I told them I wanted to bring my sword, but they didn't let me. Now I gotta fucking break the window.
I thought Teen Titans vs. Justice League was fine. Like, there's a lot of things.
I actually watched that movie just for that fucking dancing because it's so fucking goofy.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think I genuinely liked Teen Titans vs. Justice League because, like,
I liked it because it was dumb.
When they weren't being stupid and weirdly anime, it was solid. I thought.
I thought it was kind of weird also how in that movie. Oh, this is necessary though because I'm talking about a sequel.
Yeah.
How Superman and Wonder Woman were dating. Mm-hmm. Because I thought that he was out with Lois Lane. Yeah. But it turns out it was Wonder Woman. That was kind of odd.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't fit into any continuity that I know.
Because usually it's Batman and Wonder Woman, kind of.
Batman and Wonder Woman, sort of.
Yeah.
And also Superman and Lois Lane always.
Yeah. Because I know,
you're right.
I know in the Injustice storyline, like, he kind of gets into something with Wonder Woman, but that's because they fucking killed the shit out of Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And, like, Wonder Woman's the only one who can understand him at this point. So, but keep going.
So yeah, that movie's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But so this movie, the first thing you fucking see in this movie that has nothing to do with the sequel or with the first movie.
Yeah.
5 years earlier.
Yeah.
Before we see anything. it's actually I saw this movie before I saw Teen Titans vs. Justice League, and this
Right.
is the reason why I saw that movie,
Yeah.
because the first thing we see ever in this movie is 5 years earlier. We have no idea what it is 5 years earlier from, and I looked in the first movie, like, is it? It's still kind of not. It's still I don't know when this is still, because even while watching the first movie, I don't know when it is.
Uh-huh.
So you have this whole thing about where you've got the Teen Titans. It's Robin, Beast Boy, and 3 other characters that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
I think it's like fucking, I don't know, B-Girl, Kid Flash, and Arrow Kid. And then they see Starfire, right?
Yeah.
And they're making like, they're like, oh man, we need to go save Starfire, right? Because she's a hot girl and like she's cute or whatever. And,
Yes,
like,
I know what
she's
you're
being
talking
attacked.
about, yeah.
So they fucking fight, and then they save Starfire, and like, all right, welcome. Like, welcome. This is a Teen Titans.
They had like an argument on whether they should trust her, right? And shit
yeah.
like that.
Like, well, I mean, we don't. And yeah, it's all. So when you cut back to, here's the thing: if you had just shown this scene first and then put the 5 years later, it would have been perfectly fine. But the fact that the first thing you
Yeah.
see, black screen 5 years earlier, is just very inept.
I didn't think about that. Like that's
It's
it's
like,
right.
what the fuck?
Like,
What?
that-
5 years earlier from what? I watched the first movie. It's still fucking unclear when
Because Starfire is already the leader in the first movie.
Starfire's leader, Robin is fucking Nightwing already.
Yeah, so like 5 years before the first one, like
Is Dick? Is he like 18? Is he like 20? Like this
I-
is so fucking.
I didn't even think about it like that.
How old is? Where is Damien at? Like now you got a new Robin. Like fuck, man.
Yeah.
Already this is fucking baffling.
I need to put that on. Fuck it. Like I'm gonna put the Judas contract in there. I didn't know that came out this year.
Yeah, it fucking did, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it is already fucking confusing, and then you skip, all right, to the present when you got this new team. You got Damian Wayne, who I actually fucking love now. I used to hate him.
Really? I still hate Damian
Well,
Wayne.
dude, because like I like that. I'll get to it in a little bit, but the reason that so you've got this new crew, right? And they're the main story arc of this one is the Terra story arc,
Yeah.
which, to be honest, I don't know a lot about. I've only ever seen it in the original
I've
Teen
like,
Titans Cartoon Network show, but
I've done a lot of research of it because it's bad in the Teen Titans original show too. In a bit, I mean, the Teen Titans show does it the best.
yeah.
But I do genuinely believe that the Terra storyline is one of the worst to ever be
Well,
made
here's the thing.
in any comic.
Here's the
canon.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
Is that apparently the Judas contract is like the Teen Titans version of the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Like in terms of comics, this is their comic. This is like the one that sticks out one of the most.
Mhm.
And then they use this like very shitty animation
Yeah.
to portray a iconic story, just like the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Ironically,
And also, like the Killing Joke, it's way fucking outdated and over
Yeah.
the top edgy. Like,
and at the very least, you could. I don't know. I'll get to that. I'll get to the fucked up part in a
yeah,
little
you
bit.
go for it.
But and then you got Robin and Starfire. There's a lot of awkward sexual jokes between them. And it's not
Yeah.
really funny. It's just kind of awkward. Because there's a scene specifically when they're doing their first raid. Nightwing's like, "Yo, Starfire, let's do that thing that we practiced." He's like, "Right here? I mean, do you want me to give you a blowjob? Right? I mean, I admire your courage, but in front of the kids, he's just like." And he kind of plays it off like the other thing, but my mom just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they also
Like,
they did it. They did that again too. Yeah, it wasn't really funny like either. Like where they said like he was all like where like they made a joke and they're looking at him like he was like, oh, he isn't very good. And then they're like, oh no, he's quite adept in that. Like,
yeah, like he didn't last. He lasted longer than usual. Like, oh no, he's great at sex. I mean,
yeah.
And if I'm Nightwing, it's not like I'm just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah,
Like you've been here for a long time. You should know boundaries already.
yeah, no shit. Like, cause like the Starfire in the show, she's like new. Like she's very recently on Earth still.
Yeah,
so, but,
she's
like,
been there for fucking
Yeah, she's
at
been-
least 5 years.
Yeah, like.
Okay. I don't know.
We don't know the
Here's like,
timeline.
I don't know if the this movie was 5 years.
We don't know. We don't know the time between the first movie. We do know.
We don't know the cut. We don't know the. Actually, we don't know the time between the first movie and the second movie,
Yeah.
and we don't know the time between that first shot and this one.
Yeah.
But yes, it's 5 years earlier, but this could be 5 years earlier from 10 years earlier from this tour. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, dude, that's. I didn't
So
even
fucking
think about.
confusing,
I didn't even
dude.
think about any of that. I'm so sad. I would have definitely put this in my top 10 too if I would have known. But yeah,
Another thing I hate. Oh, go on.
I mean, like, there's the big thing that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you have more stuff besides the big
Yeah,
thing,
I guess another big, not a super big thing, but another lesser thing is Beast. I fucking hate. Oh, first off, I'll start with fuck, what's his name? Jaime Reyes.
yeah. Oh, the Blue Beetle, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, I think I had told you about this,
Yeah.
where like his parents are like, "Mijo, your father is having a very tough time, and I know because of this thing, mijo. Your dad doesn't like the alien doesn't like him, and they're having real problems. So what do you? I'm sorry, mijo." And he's just like, "I know, mom. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm trying my best." He's like, I don't know if they actually got a Mexican or not, but if not, he sounds very like stilted, if not white.
I hate also the Raven voice actor too. She sounds like it's her first time because she's so like awkward behind the microphone. Like
Yeah.
they make Raven this really awkward tsundere type when she's just so not that, and it's really bad. Like she's supposed to be dark and brooding, but she sounds dark and brooding in the oh my god. Like she's more Kristen
Yeah,
Stewart
like-
than anything.
You know, Damien, it's not like I like you or anything. I'm just giving you this cotton candy, baka.
They don't quite like go as far with Beast Boy as they should because they
Here's the thing, Beast Boy, from my knowledge, is
Yeah.
just kind of like, he's kind of an idiot, but at
Yeah.
the same time, you know that he means well.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, because I've only
Yeah.
ever seen the one cartoon.
Yeah.
But in this one, he seems like that asshole who's very pushy.
Yeah, he's
and
very
like,
douchey bro kind
yeah,
of.
he's just like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah.
He's like, why doesn't Tara like me? Oh, I also fucking hate Tara too when she's introduced. Like, "Oh, nobody thanked me. I just helped you get in here." It's like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck you.
Yeah, he's very douchey. Well, he's
No,
like,
Tara's douchey, and Beast Boy, he's like, "I don't understand why she's like me." And Jaime Reyes is like, "Dude, you're way too fucking forward with her. Tone it down." He's like, "No, I'm just gonna go full force on this."
the opposite thing you said.
So he's like, he's very, it's very like, I'm not sure if I get date rape vibes from him. Not full on rape, but he seems like the type of dude who would totally date rape a girl,
Yeah.
which is very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
For me to
and
watch.
that's not even the most uncomfortable thing in this
And
movie.
the thing that's worse is that I don't like Tara either. I
Yeah.
hate Tara because she's a bitch,
Yeah.
and I hate Beast Boy because he's a date rapist.
Yeah, who's into Kevin Smith like really badly?
Oh my
Like,
God,
like-
Oh my god.
So the big thing about this movie,
The thing that made me put it at number one,
yeah,
because it disgusted me.
yeah,
And like, dude, I've watched The Human Centipede. I've watched I Spit on the Grave. Neither of these disgust me more than this.
yeah. I don't know. I
fucking
feel
scene.
like it's just okay. So for those of you who don't know, this was in the original. What made the Teen Titans cartoon version almost work is because they cut the fucking like daddy daughter pedophilic like
Ugh.
sex stuff. They made it very Tara's relationship with Slade so like vague and ambiguous that it
Yeah.
almost didn't work. But like honestly, like
Yes, I bought the fact that she believed he could help. He could
yeah,
help her.
I like honestly like again she was like in an abusive like town where they all beat the shit out of her. Like
Yeah.
all they needed like it's like some-
Was a savior.
yeah all Slade like she's having
I think Slade sounds cooler than Deathstroke.
really
honestly.
that's a controversial
Well,
opinion.
because in Deathstroke it sounds like an edgy teenager or
Yeah.
something that he would post on like.
Well, Slade is just like it's really like
it's
slick.
like it's mysterious.
All right,
At
well-
least in the original cartoon, it's like, who is he? Who is he?
Who is Slade?
Oh my! It's almost like it's not even his real name. That's
Yeah.
just a nickname that that
Yeah.
he goes by.
For the purpose of this movie, they call him Deathstroke, so I'll call him
Yeah,
Deathstroke.
I get it.
Yeah, okay. So like, all Deathstroke had to do was save her, and like that was all they needed, like a respect.
Yeah.
Like they can tell her like Deathstroke's a bad dude,
But
but
he saved your
saved
life.
my life. So I'm not gonna like. Why would I take yours over him? They did like all of this like daddy daughter like her. They confirmed she's 16. Like
Yeah.
the
And
like
she's like in this dress, and the
Is
thing
ni-
that
is
makes
nighty.
it is night, and the thing that makes it worse is like when she puts makeup on,
yeah.
it's not like like in anime where it's like, oh, she's 16, but she might as well be like 20
Like,
because
no,
of the way she look. No, like the way the makeup is, it makes her look even younger.
Yeah,
It makes
like,
her look like a 13-year-old kid
she
who
looks-
doesn't know how to put makeup
like the
on.
blush is really. It looks more innocent than sexy.
And
Like,
it's just like, oh no.
Because if it were like the lipstick and like the fucking like the fucking eyeliner, then maybe it could have pulled it off. But the bright pink cheeks and like
it looks like a kid
Yeah.
who's putting on makeup for the first time.
yeah, like it's so like very blatantly childish and gross.
Here's the thing I don't understand
Yeah.
though, is that they make it explicit that they're not fucking.
Yeah,
They're like, oh man, when are you gonna do me? And later on, he's like, what has she done to you? Like, nothing, but believe me, I've tried.
Oh
It's like,
my God.
dude, like, if you're not gonna confirm that they're straight up banging,
Yeah.
why even have it at all?
yeah. Why even have it at all?
And even then, why even have it at all? Even if you are confirming,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just so fucking.
It's so gross and not necessary. It's part of a
Yeah.
massive problem that like we just like a woman can't be damaged unless she's been fucking like sexually assaulted, and like and it's like it's almost like they're not allowed, even like in a negative sense, they're not allowed to exist without their sexuality being like a big part of it. Like she wasn't allowed to just be a pained person, because even the whole like strong man saved you from abuse is way done to death.
Yeah.
I get it, but it would have at least appealed to her humanity more that she was abused and somebody saved her, so naturally she would have a hero mentality towards the guy.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be this really gross like sex thing, and it's just so like
I've seen it work better, like in the manga Berserk. I mean, they fuck up their characters, man.
Yeah.
But something that they do right is that one of the girls is gonna get fucked up, right?
yeah,
It's gonna happen to her, and then she sees this literal white knight.
yeah.
I mean, that's like his nickname, right? The White
Uh-huh.
Knight. And he comes in and he tosses her a sword. He's like, "Yo, fucking fight for your life." So she panics. She grabs the sword, fucking stabs the dude, fucking with her.
Yeah.
And then she decides to follow him because he didn't save me. He gave me the opportunity to save
Yeah.
myself.
Uh-huh.
And I want to continue to fight with this guy. And she asks him, like, "Can I come with you?" And he says, "Do whatever you want."
Yeah. If you choose to follow, did the arc go to her like not having to be dependent on him and towards the end, like?
It's definitely like shattering the hero mentality because she believes so much that he's a hero or whatever.
Yeah.
That she loves him so much, but she knows that in order to progress in
Yeah.
life, that he needs to marry the princess.
Oh, okay.
And there's also there's actually a pretty cool thing that they bring up is that when she's fighting on the battlefield, the reason before she tells her story of like how she met this dude
Yeah.
is that she can't fight 100% because she's on her period.
Oh.
And like it's like legitimately like this not played up as, oh, she's on her period. It's like, no, like I'm gonna die because I'm fucking the most inopportune time for this to happen.
I don't know. I need to see that. Sounds iffy. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Any
well,
storyline?
here's the thing, she's saved by, this big brute guy, right? But then, I feel like she works so well because she
Yeah.
has that dynamic of, oh, she hates this guy who's very big and brutish,
Yeah.
right? But she kind of but it makes sense because the dude that Guts, I'm talking about Berserk, he's fucking irrational, he's war hungry, he fucking just disobeys orders and just rushes in, and she tells him like, dude, you can't fucking do that. This is a battle, you gotta listen to your fucking superiors. He's like, I don't give a shit, I'm just fighting, man.
Yeah. Just fighting, bro. Just think about fighting.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Warzone. Oh yeah, fucking terror, man.
yeah, like it's the same thing with the Killing Joke. Like people give so much respect to the Killing Joke, but even Alan Moore, the original writer, was like, yeah, that wasn't good. Like even Alan,
you know what? I can sort of understand the argument because the whole point of the Joker's intention was to do the most horrible, terrible thing he could possibly do to someone.
Yeah.
And was it right for Alan Moore to write that? Probably not. But at the very least, I could sort of see the argument of why the Joker would do this.
Yeah, but with comes to Tarot, they're
Terror,
quite
like,
literally-
no, like this story could work perfectly fine without this.
Like even like I mean the Killing Joke could definitely work without the rape, like just the murder
Oh,
is
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But like you can
if
almost
he just shot her and left. I guess.
yeah, or like left her to die or something. But like you're right. I can almost get why so like we say like, oh, he wanted to be extra because he's the fucking Joker. Like Deathstroke had no real connection to this girl, like other than he saved her and saw potential in the power. Why he would try to fuck her is like it's just so not necessary to like.
And we know it could work without that because we have seen it.
And Deathstroke, it doesn't even like really fit the character because he's supposed to be this stone cold like killer, like focused, like hired gun. Like why like he should have no interest in fucking the 16-year-old. Like I don't know, like it's just it was really gross. Like I remember like was mostly positive of that movie. Then that part came about, and I'm like, this is just overshadowing the whole thing with this unnecessary grossness. Now I'm upset that I forgot because I would have put it on this.
Even then, I still had fucking problems. Other than that, and I fucking the ending is so fucking bad. So I don't know if you remember it.
No, I don't.
What happens is Beast Boy. You know how like in superhero movies, everybody makes. They sometimes make like a inspirational speech on the events that just happened. Yeah. And Beast Boy makes his speech on a fucking Kevin Smith podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
The fucking worst cameo of the year, man. Fucking Kevin Smith is in a podcast with Beast Boy. And he's just like, oh yeah, so tell us about how you feel about this whole situation. He makes this whole speech.
Yeah, and I can just imagine the douchey dude bros like listening to Kevin Smith's podcast. And
There's only one thing that could have made this worse. Yeah. It's just that they had actually gone to the con and he's making his speech in front of the con.
They put the fucking counter with the mic.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh my god, and there was like guys in cosplay like up front.
Fuck man.
That is hilarious. Well, damn, we went over 3 hours, man.
Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. We'll upload this. We'll get it done as soon as possible. So thank you for joining us. This was the top 10 worst movies of 2017 that we saw. Next time, you'll be seeing our best. And then after that, we're going to go back to probably maybe
Ducks.
Once every 1 or 2 weeks. But
Ducks.
Oh,
Ducks.
yeah.
Ducks. 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 Ducks.
I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to cut it. And then I'm going to soon. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.